Am I live now? Well, that screen still says waiting for me. Yes, Nixie. Hello, Mickey. Why hasn't Nixie Green got a spanner anymore? What have you done, Nixie? Did you unsubscribe and then resubscribe again? Well, I can hear myself now. Fucking hell, don't want to hear myself. It's bad enough that you lot got to hear me. Yeah, with a strange heart condition, Nixie. An undiagnosed heart condition. Very strange indeed. Nope, never unsubbed. Where's your bloody spanner gone then, woman? I mean, this was an actress. This was an actress that was 11 months old when she joined Hollywood. 11 months old. You know, you can look at all the conspiracy theories. You can look at everything. Yeah, she was 36 years old. In a few days' time, she would have been 37. We had the eclipse, didn't we? And what was the movie? What was the movie called? And they showed the eclipse and everything in that movie, in the title of the movie. She was 36 years old. Add all the numbers up from 1 to 36 and you get 666. When does it stop becoming? When does it stop becoming a conspiracy? Let's set a date. Smilo, I need you as a co-host on my yellow channel next week. Let's set a date. What's the title of what you're doing? What are you doing? But when does it? 1 to 36. In a few days' time, she would have been 37. You had the solar eclipse. Everybody said that there's going to be a sacrifice. People were talking about a star being sacrificed. Blah blah blah. Yeah, James Blunt. Yeah, I said that earlier, Paul, on Laura's. Yeah, she went down to her bedroom, didn't she, and found a naked man in her bed. That naked man was James Blunt. Yeah, going out, yeah, go and listen to the words of his song. Oh, okay then, Nixie. Yeah, no problem. But I won't have anything to do with that person that doesn't come from the UK but calls herself UK. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it, Paul? It's mad as poo. No, they're all in it. They're all in it. I got a couple of videos. One's from the donut factory, and another one on the other channel. It does a lot. It does a lot of stuff on all the satanic ritual stuff. He went into Bohemian Grove the other day. You know, we've had other people that snuck into Bohemian Grove, haven't we? Oi, oi, Irish. Why do I call you? Why don't? Hello, Suzanne. I get confused. Yeah, her mother put her in the industry when she was 11 months old. Yes, but a donut, you know the one. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, Paul. I heard about it. There was lots of talk on Twitter about it. You know, Klitschko brothers, you know, Jewish mafia, you know, owning all the brothels in Ukraine, living above his brothel in the Ukraine. It is all in plain sight, you know, and it's all in plain sight. So it's normalized, isn't it, Suzanne? It's so they normalize it so that people don't get the shock horror, you know, and all their movies, because I don't know whether it's, I wouldn't say by law, but by, they just tell you, they've got to tell you, Smiley, you're muted. Am I muted? Can you hear me now? That's into. You ain't muted. Ah, it's you two. It must be your system. Ah, see, Suzanne, it's you not. I just turned my volume on YouTube and I can hear myself. It's horrible hearing yourself. Hey up, Michael. Hey up, Buddha. But it's like it's like, you know, you see, like my placeholder, you know, where they're covering up one eye, you know, we've seen it over and over and over again. You know, we've seen the Ra symbols, we've seen all the symbolism, you know, the CIA, no, sorry, the FBI put out all the symbols. We saw Comet Pizza, you know, when it was Pizzagate, and we saw all the symbolism that the FBI already put all the symbolism out. And then when you look at Comet Pizza, Pizzagate, Comet Pizza, all the symbolism was in the banner all the way around the ceiling of the room. You know, when they put, you know, back in the old days when we used to put those borders up. Well, a border. Yeah, save the cheerleader, save the world. You know, she was going to save the world, wouldn't she? You know, but now, what's going to happen now? Is the world going to end? You know, because she was supposed to save the world, wouldn't she? Nostalgia on. I'll drop the link if anybody wants to come up, but oh, why haven't I got rid of that stupid love art thing? Ugh, let's get rid of that stupid love art thing. Does that love art thing in the corner bug anybody else and you can't see the bloody messages? Let's go and get rid of that stupid thing. Back it may. Where's my live? Yeah. Hey up, Kerry. Live reactions. Goodbye. Oh, he's not, is he? Is he? Hello, Beth. Is he in the chat? I can't see him in the chat. I don't know. I 86K'd him this morning, Michael. So it'll still be on the ban, won't it? I 86K'd him in this 86K'd him this morning for what he was typing in the chat. And there was no need. There was no need for him to attack Nomadic like that. Yeah, only twice. Nobody mention him for the third time. I wouldn't get away. I wouldn't get away with doing that James Blunt though, will I, Paul? Yeah, 100% agree with you. He did. He did. He had me a bit confused because I thought, oh, bugger must have blocked me then because I can't see him in the chat. Couldn't see him. Yeah, I mean, Twitter's having a complete meltdown, isn't it? I think he's just a bit of a lefty, Nixie, or a whole lefty. But I do like debating him because when I debate him, he tries to hold me account. So I bring up all the evidence, I bring up all the proof, you know. But he's got his little blinkers on, but all the evidence is being supplied to him. Yep, exactly. Michael's hit the nail on the head. Oi, GC. But it is interesting debating him because you can tell that he's like fully engrossed into mainstream media. I mean, he went to a couple of demonstrations, but he was scared of his own shadow at the demonstrations. Yeah, I got to find some of these pro-Israel channels, you know. I got to find them. And this Esau, or Easy, is it Esau or is it Easy? I don't know which one it is. Or are they one of the same? I can't remember. Because apparently he was calling me out and wanted to debate me. Easy. I think he's a Venus flytrap, Michael, because I think he tries to trap me, but when I come with the evidence and the backup, then he still can't wrap it around his little brain. You know, when you got like the fucking admiral speaking out in Congress. Where's my mate Triller? Where's Triller? Triller's funny. He does bob over here a few times. Or he has bobbed over here a few times. Yeah, I did pin it. What have you shared? What have you shared there, GC? Den Patrick. Is that Den Patrick? Who's Den Patrick? That's it. I mean, why would you have the star of Ramfam with the St. George flag going through it? Why would you even do that? When the actual Jews actually are ripping the flag up and setting fire to it. Life Hub Daily. Right, let's subscribe to it. Let's see when he tries to call me out. He should be, Paddy. He should be. But I will ring Jay in the morning, Paddy. But when I blocked him in Dave's chat, I think it was it Dave? Yeah, it was Dave's chat. When I blocked him in Dave's chat, no, it wasn't. It was my chat. I blocked him on my chat, and he jumped up on the panel straight away because he texted me and said, "You've just blocked me in the chat," and then he jumped up on the panel. So I went back and unblocked him. That account you told me about earlier. Anyway, let's see if oh yeah, Beyonce. Let's see if YouTube like this. See if they allow me. Did he obviously Paddy didn't use his head as a football. I'm guessing he never turned up at 5 o'clock. Was it 5 o'clock today that he was supposed to turn up? And the fat dribbling wreck. Yeah, the MK account, unless there's two MK accounts, the MK account was definitely Jay's. Because he messaged me at 10 during my live last night. He messaged me to say that person you just took out is me. And then he jumped up on the panel. Yeah, I knew I hadn't seen any notifications from you using his head as a football. So why didn't he turn up? And why does he keep putting all these fake photographs of himself up, but won't turn his camera on? I ain't got a camera. I'll put it on my to-do list tomorrow to actually go on to what's it called, and buy a camera. What's the stupid site called? Amazon. Go on Amazon and buy a camera tomorrow. You did a live earlier, did you? I never got no notification that you did a live. But then I got 2 hours sleep, and then my phone started going mental. My mate on his motorbike had an argument with a car holiday maker. So I had to take him in some bits and pieces. He got a broken collarbone and a broken arm. I think they're pinning his collarbone tomorrow. Paddy destroyed him, did he? Is that on the live earlier, is it? He turned up, but he's a time traveler. I'll have to watch that later. But I've got to a point now where I'm like that overtired. Have you had a load of reports, Beyonce? Have you been shadow banned already? That's it, the video. Roll VT. Let me know if you've got any sound. Oh, yeah, I was still out. I was out and about. And then came home and Laura was live. Oh, Beyonce, they're going through my videos. They're going back years of my videos. And not privacy, they're copyrighting me from years ago that haven't been copyrighted. No, even my live last night, I have 5 copyright claims, banned in Russia, banned here, banned there. And I don't even know which bits I played or what music I actually played. I don't think I played any music. So I just clicked the button and just silence the music. But I can't even remember playing any music last night. We were just chatting. Unless there was music in some of the clips that I played. Bringing the evidence to fucking Urban. But what was somebody saying? Somebody said the other day about getting a broadcaster's license. Well, we used to have one in the garage because we used to we'd obviously have music. I have the radio on, or somebody put a CD on, or whatever, or Bluetooth speakers. So we had to get one from the garage. Oh, how do they call it? Not broadcaster's license, but it's a license. It ain't very much money. But I don't think that will work on YouTube, though. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look into it. Because it used to be about 60 quid a year for the license so that you could play the radio in the workshop. But if that works on YouTube, then they can't. Someone played music for 10 seconds. What, last night? Oh, was that the James Bond? I played Nomadic's clip, didn't I, of his Rangy. And that had James Bond music on it. See, when you go on YouTube to get rid of when they flag you on copyright, it like takes ages for YouTube to show the screen. So instead of waiting for the screen, I just click, and then it starts fucking silencing the music out. Keeps the voices, but it silences the background music out. But it's a pain in the ass going to taking a video So you take a video with OBS, then you load it up in CapCut, then you separate the voices from the music, then you delete the music and keep the voice. It's a pain in the ass. So I'd rather just keep deleting the music. Bing. Who's this? Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right. You all right?
What the fuck's going on then? Are you scared?
Hey?
What's the matter with you, bud? You're right.
I'm all right. You all right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Jeez. What are you bitching at?
Yeah. I'm always bitching. I don't bitch.
Oh. Don't be silly, brother. You bitch. What's going on? Anyone bitching with you?
No, nobody's bitching with me. I just ignored them anyway.
Why?
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
It's like boom over my head.
Really?
Yeah. Digital bitching isn't real life, is it? If they come into my real life, then it comes into my real life. But while they're bitching behind the screen and the keyboard, it ain't bitching,
Get
is
the
it?
fuck out of town. No, we're gonna make it like ourselves, you know?
I just laugh at them because they're just keyboard warriors.
Oh, I don't mind that. You know, keyboard warriors. That means they don't have anything.
Yeah.
Hang on, that's Jason, and Jason has like almost like 200,000 pounds now. And he fucking jumped the ship, and God knows how he jumped it. I'm sure he jumped it with some fucking candies. Candy jumping there. I can't handle the truth. You don't know the truth. You know? Oh no, that's a racist thing to say. The fucking truth.
Who? I don't know who you're talking about. Who are you
Yeah,
talking
you
about?
bet you don't know. Good luck. Are you fucking for real?
Who are you talking about?
Jason.
Jason.
Jason, yeah, Jason.
Cat.
Yeah.
Cat Jason.
Oh my god, the guy from fucking yeah, come on, man. Don't make me spell it out for you. Please. He was Cambridge.
Oh, Dan.
He's the fucking right.
Oh, George Floyd, you mean?
He's the fucking right. Yeah, I can't read.
Yeah, George Floyd. George.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
read. No, I can't read. I can't read.
Yeah, the man that hated the white person.
Oh God, no, man. Who cares about the white people?
Change the background.
I know. Fuck off. There's no background.
Change the background.
It's your background or mine. Oh shit.
My background.
I don't care.
Oh, it's messing with Beth's eyes. All right, I'll let play.
Oh.
I'll let play.
YouTube says it has had enough of vaccine misinformation on its site.
And false stories from phony sites to run circles around major news outlets.
Many people don't know the difference between something real and something created to deceive them.
Open your eyes.
If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up. because this is a call for an uprising.
Your special report. I'm Jessica Layton in New York. We have sad news to report out of the film industry tonight. Actress Hayden Panettiere has died at the age of 36. Her father confirming her passing just a short time ago. Panettiere was known for her roles in the hit shows Heroes and Nashville. Details about her death are not yet available, but in a statement, her father said, "It is with profound sadness that we share the tragic passing of our beloved Hayden. She was an incredible light and a force of nature who brought immeasurable love and joy to all who knew her and to the millions who watched her on screen. We ask for privacy as our family takes time to process this unimaginable loss." Panettiere came on the scene as a child actor, and she starred in a number of hits, including Remember the Titans, Scream 4, Bring It On, Ice Princess, and Raising Helen. It was just this past May that she released a memoir titled This Is Me, A Reckoning. Joining me now on the phone with more is NBC News' Steve Patterson. Steve, what can you tell us at this time? We know that Panettiere has been open about struggling being a child star and the fame that came with all of that. What do we know about her current well-being before the passing?
Very little right now, Jessica. We're still obviously digging in. We've gotten that statement, as well as one from her publicist in response to just trying to figure out exactly maybe the location of her death or what was happening beforehand. They said simply, quote, this is from the press representative, quote, "There's an investigation ongoing. We should know more tomorrow." Obviously, as you mentioned, she had just come out with that book. She was a little bit more forthcoming about her mental state, about some postpartum depression, as you mentioned, that she suffered, about her past relationships, about some of the grief that she had. In 2024, she lost her brother unexpectedly to this undiagnosed heart condition. Just a year before that, she appeared on Today Show sort of talking about, where she was at with that and how difficult it was. And I think to a lot of people, she was a source of inspiration. This is somebody that had grown up in Hollywood from the time of a young...
Well, you weren't in here earlier, were you, November Man? Right. She's 36. Add all the numbers up from 1 to 36. 1 to 36. Add all the numbers up. They add up to 666. And what was in the film? The solar eclipse. What was people saying? People were saying about...
You talk about November Man. I mean, hey. Easy Tiger. Are you talking about the way she come on, brother? It's the same thing you can say that your man died from.
Loads of conspiracy theorists were saying there's going to be a sacrifice because you've got the solar eclipse.
I mean, come on, brother.
A movie literally had the solar eclipse in it, didn't it?
God. Oh, that's
young child. And she was 11 years old, or 11 months old, I should say, when she her first screen appearance. And then obviously we all knew her, sort of watched her grow up through the years from a very, very small child, to these more established roles, both as a child and then as a young woman and then as a grown adult and then as a mother herself. We know she leaves a young child behind as well. So just obviously sadness, I would imagine, for the film community, for Hollywood in general, but just sort of obviously the beginning stages of an investigation to try to figure out how she died. And that's where we're at.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Another Hollywood actor or actress and another mysterious young death. And the reason I'm covering this topic and actress Hayden Panettiere is because you're going to see lots of videos and lots of things out there regarding this actress. Some of you may not even know who this actress is. This actress was famous pretty much throughout her entire or his entire life, depending on what you believe with a lot of these actors and if they're inverts or not. But let's look at it from the perspective of these young children who are groomed at a young age and pushed through the Hollywood and music industries. And this is another one, Hayden. And of course, a lot of the stuff out there that I want to make sure that you pay attention to are the signs and symbols, not so much so the stories of foul play. And again, a common theme with what I call the weak-minded sheeple, people who have ventured down the conspiracy rabbit hole, which isn't really a conspiracy at all, the truth rabbit hole, which is endless, filled with information about who these people are, what bloodlines they're connected to, how they operate, human sacrifice. These are all things that they're involved in. But a lot of the truth.
Allegedly. Yeah, did you not? Did anybody not see when she was in? See, I played the Maiden on air. The battles of the Maiden, I played it on air, but you know, when she was with Klitschko. Oh. I mean, it's strange, isn't it? It's really strange. Where's the Russian one? Where be the Russian one when they're in there? Let me drag that over. So that was Ukraine, 2013. That was. It's tiny. That's like they're talking down to your daughter, isn't it? It's weird. Is it restream or your net that's lagging? I don't know what's lagging. Which bit's lagging? Is the music coming through? Yeah, he runs loads of brothels. You know, they say that the Klitschko brothers are Jewish mafia, don't they? I know, it's madness, isn't it, Beyonce? It's madness. It just reminds me, you know, when your daughters are growing up and you're like talking, you're like looking down at them and talking to them, you know. I mean, normally you kneel down and come face to face with them. Yeah, unfortunately. What's unfortunately? Explain. Exactly, Blunt. Exactly. Yeah, I got pictures of rabbis giving them fucking menorahs, and you know, you got that girl with the thing written across her back. Yeah, I mean, normally Beyonce, you know, if you're gonna be like telling them off or whatever, normally you kneel down, don't you? It's just look at it. It's just weird, isn't it? It's weird. Weird. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of Roy walking through Chinatown with CP. That's what it reminds me of. Yeah, too high class. Yeah, he lives above it. He lives above one of them, Michael.
Мы будем стоять здесь до победы. Нам нужно стоять до победы. Руки. Мы будем жить.
The beauty of this country is breathtaking. The landscape, the beautiful churches, but nothing compares to the undeniably deep souls of the Ukrainian people.
Yeah, a complete UK CIA coup d'etat. See, Vega would be laughing at me now.
Тебя понимают? Ты мечтали? Все, что есть в Украине, это очень прекрасно. Прекрасная церковь, прекрасная культура. Но самое
But he's a weirdo. They're weirdos. That was a former boyfriend.
No, wow, 701 Aisley Bridge Road.
Aisley Bridge Road, overdose. CPR is in progress.
The 36-year-old was open about her personal struggles and her journey through.
Anyone else see the lag then, or is it my end? I don't know. I know between Restream and YouTube there's a lag because I have to keep on it in when I'm on analytics. I have to keep on it in live to get it to come back up. There you go. David Clues. Right, let's put that back over there. See, YouTube is way behind on the analytics.
Their sheeple like to tend to bring up these topics when a celebrity dies and say that they were about to expose something. They're about to blow the lid off of the industry because they have no idea how this actually works. And they think that these people are about to blow the lid off of major stories, right? So here are some examples. Hayden Panettiere just died at 36, 3 months after her bombshell exposure of the elite Hollywood music system. Other people, Hayden looked extremely nervous about something 3 months before her death. She knew too much. Hollywood doesn't like when you reveal their secrets. When you do, they will try to suicide you or destroy your reputation. Wouldn't be surprised if Hayden was just another whistleblower who they unalive to keep the truth hidden. So Of course, when you hear little stories, right, like she came out and talked about how she was on a boat at 18 and a very famous celebrity was waiting in a bedroom for her and a famous person brought her down to that bedroom to perform sexual acts. If you think that that is the very big bombshell and the hidden truth about the Hollywood and music industry, that these people sleep with one another or forced into sleeping with other executives and producers, think again. This is a lot more deeper rooted in occultism than you could possibly imagine, which has to do with human sacrifice and doing these things that are obviously illegal to the rest of the world, but seem to be legal to them. So thinking that she's going to blow the lid off of something at the age of 18 because a man exposed himself to her on a boat is nothing. And it is nothing that they would kill her over. Now, could she have been sacrificed for different reasons? Of course. Do these people get sacrificed? Yes, they do. But these days, every single time a celebrity dies, we hear stories that some big news was going to drop, that they were going to release some type of bombshell information. And unless they're talking about satanic ritual abuse, cannibalism, that red liquid that they love to drink, then they're not really exposing anything at all. And the reason, again, I'm covering this isn't just to discuss the topic for clicks and views. It's to show you that Hayden is another one of these actors or actresses who are groomed from birth, who are put into the entertainment industry, who show you their allegiance.
I'm currently running at 2,160p. Beyonce. I've just done a speed test for video streaming, and it's given me 2,160p. It's given me. Which apparently is 4K. Yeah. And I'm currently running 122 millibytes, 22 on ping, and upload is currently upload speed at the moment is 19.3. So my speed is 122 millibytes. My upload speed is 19.3 and my ping was 22 with no packets lost. So I don't know. I think it might be restream. Is it perhaps it's restreamed to YouTube, because I've got my analytics screen up and I have to keep on hitting the live button to bring a live screen up to what I'm actually showing on the screen, so that they're running at the same, but the YouTube keeps running behind. So I'm waiting to see whether I get any warning triangles. But at the top of Restream, it's actually showing 720p. Yeah, no, Restream is only showing at 720p. Whereas StreamYards used to change from 1080 to 720. So I don't know if I have to go into the settings and change Restream. Mm. No, Beyonce helped me choose my stuff that I bought to buy for my building my PC. That's all top notch stuff, that is. $540. Yeah, mine's stuck at 720, so I don't know whether I have to go into the settings and change it to 1080, is it? I'm using 4 eyes, Carrie. I've got my glasses on. Mind you, free and standard tiers are capped at 720. I am got free. I'm paying 16 quid a month for it. Oh yeah, I did Beyonce. I had to turn on the other computer the other day, and it was like, come on, are you gonna start? Are you gonna start? Are you gonna start? It's waiting ages for the screen to go ping. 8 megabytes to 64 megabytes is mad in RAM. I think when I did when I first built it, and I did the what's that test called? What's the test called where you get all the little squares going round and round and round and round, and then it fills up the screen? I can't remember. Yeah. What's the Cinebench? When I did Cinebench, I was third on the Cinebench. I was third. What I'll have to do is change, close everything down, and run another Cinebench. Yeah. I don't think you're supposed to defrag these hard drives. Beyonce will correct me. Yeah, I thought you didn't defrag them. Yeah, it's the PCI Gen 4 NVMe ones. But I bought a 2280, I think they are. M.2s. But that's 4 terabytes of Crucial, that is. My other PC, you could literally hear it. Tick, 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 tick. So you wanted to give the mouse a kick or the hamster a kick. No, roll VT.
Agents to Satan, who show you through signs and symbols who they actually are, which I'll show you momentarily. But for those of you that don't know, Hayden was a child actress. Her mother, Leslie Vogel, was a soap opera actress, and this is usually how it works, right? They're pushed into the industry at a young age. It's unimaginable. If you've ever seen a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, to imagine them being groomed to be actors and actresses when they're such innocent, pure, babies at that age. Of course, this is not normal because this isn't normal behavior because, again, Hollywood is a government operation. It is not what you believe it is. It is not organically people who are talented, who go to theater class in high school, then go to theater school, or they go to a dance school, all this stuff, and get into the music industry and the acting industry. That's not how it works. Hollywood was created by the CIA. It is run through the CIA. It is a mind control operation. They tell you these stories of La La Land, of how, they left home at a young age and they went out to Hollywood and they waitered and they waitressed and they tried to break into the industry. They give you all that background for every single celebrity of how they broke in because they know that it'll make you believe that that's how they broke in. Because if you ever figure out that Hollywood is a CIA operation for mind control experiments and they're done every day on you, that's what Hollywood is. And these actors are social engineers and social influencers. If you ever figure that out, they would blow the lid off of what we're actually living in when they talk about the American experiment. So this girl, Hayden, was an actress in Hollywood, 11 months old, which is unimaginable. The mother, of course, pushed her in. And then when we talk about, crimes against children, this is really something that we should be talking about, but this is how Hollywood operates. A lot of these children are born, the children are given off, and they're raised underground through ritual abuse, which I've talked about.
Rumble Studio is a game changer for our show. Rumble Studio lets us stream to Rumble and all the other platforms
many times. The parents are involved in it. A child's brain at that age is so impressionable and so easy to mold and manipulate, and that's how they have control over Hollywood. All of these young kids get groomed at a young age. Now, some people out there listen to my videos, they go, how you don't feel bad for these kids who are pushed into it? I never said I didn't feel bad for any of these kids. The big problem that I have are a lot of these kids who have been groomed who continue to, in our faces as adults, show us that they're involved in pedophilia, in child trafficking, showing you references to Pizzagate, showing you references to adrenochrome, showing you all that stuff. And a perfect example is Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin at a young age, obviously groomed, became this big star from Home Alone and other movies when he was a child. And now he comes back around. He's wearing bunny ears, which is a reference to adrenochrome. He has a band, Underground Pizza or Pizza Underground. All these things that I've broken down and covered, and all those videos are available on my website at callforanuprising.com. All have been scrubbed, of course, off of YouTube, along with about 90 other channels that I've had in the past. All of my thousands of videos are available there for anyone who is interested in actually waking up to the American experiment and everything that they've put us through. But Macaulay Culkin is a perfect example of one of these children who continues to this day to be a groomer. Miley Cyrus is another one. We see them all, right? They come through the industry as children, and then their jobs as adults is to influence your behavior. So Hayden was in all of these young, she was a young girl in all these soap operas, but so is Britney Spears, so is Christina Aguilera. We have the Disney, the Mickey Mouse Club. We have the Nickelodeon side of things. So we have Miley Cyrus. And you say, well, what does that mean that they're there to groom us at a young age? Well, when you're a kid, your parents probably put you in front of, or maybe not you, but others we know, right, put in front of the TV, had the Disney Channel on, thinking it's good, clean fun. They see somebody like Miley Cyrus at a young age, Miley Cyrus, and Hannah Montana. They're like, this is good, clean fun. There's nothing wrong with this. There's no devil worship or any of this out in the open. The kids get attached. They like that celebrity. They grow up continuing to watch that celebrity as the celebrity evolves, right? Or devolves, really. But as the celebrity goes from Disney into becoming a pop star, into becoming a Hollywood actor. I mean, look at the long list. Timberlake, Gosling, all of them at a young age. DiCaprio. Somehow we're just, well, they were all better than you and me as young.
Bugger, yeah, I was. Yeah, I was still muted. Yeah, Hollywood. I was saying Hollywood. Blunt's put Hollywood. Well, Hollywood is literally the magic wand. It's the magic wand, and it's there to cast a spell on you. Hollywood, you know. What was that little gingerhead kid with the glasses? And they all had magic wands, and they all learnt to cast spells. It was literally Hollywood, you know, mind control, spell casting. Yeah, and telling you first what they're doing, you know. So if you go back to movies from years ago and you listen to some of the verses or some of their lines, and then you tie them up with today, then it's all there. You go back to old movies and you're sitting there watching an old movie and you hear a line and you think, fuck, you know, that relates to today. So each movie is telling you something, and they've all got hidden stories, haven't they? You know, like the Yellow Brick Road, etc. The Red Shoes. And what was there a couple of years ago? There was a big conspiracy of the red shoes. The Pope wears red shoes. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And the subliminal. You know, especially at the cinema, November Man. I mean, they used to do like a microsecond of ice cream, a microsecond of Coca-Cola, and then the woman would be down the bottom with the ice cream stall, wouldn't there? And then there'd be the woman walking up and down selling you Coca-Cola and popcorn and what have you. Yeah, every single one of them, Blunt. Every single one of them. Yeah, they just had the big buyout of Paramount, haven't they? And then all the DARPA programs as well, you know. Your Facebook was DARPA.
Kids, right? They're better. You know, you might have been in theater class doing, you know, Tom Sawyer or something at 4th grade, while they're in Hollywood making millions of dollars doing it, right? What's the difference? Well, the difference is that they're groomed for it. They're groomed to be in it, okay? And you see some of these propaganda films like Child Star, which are put out by Demi Lovato. You see Drew Barrymore. I mean, almost every single celebrity, coincidentally, right? At a young age, at 4, we're just so talented, they become these massive stars and stay in Hollywood until they're older. And of course, we know a lot of them fray out because a lot of the mind control that they're put through, the alters that are created, the trauma-based mind control, it splits their mind, it puts their mind into creating these alternate personalities and things like that. And that's why you see a lot of them turn into people like Britney Spears, where the mind control wears off so much that they can't keep control of these people. They have to just push them off to Las Vegas or push them off here. And a lot of people don't even think that most of these celebrities are even alive anymore, which very well could be true. We don't know. We only know the lies that they feed to us, but we've seen it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I played the video yesterday, didn't I, Barry Wise? Oh, that would have been music as well, that video yesterday of Barry Wise putting his money in Ellen DeGenerate's little hat for the pizza when she went round to collect the money for the pizza. You know, showing you loud and proud. And then Barry Wise, I mean, was it Barry Wise? Was he the one that was, he gave Netanyahu loads of money? I can't remember if it was Barry Wise. I'll find out. But it's actually in the trials, in the Netanyahu trials about all the money and all the corruption. Yeah, was it Larry Ellison? No, it wasn't Larry. Oh, which filmmaker was it, November Man? I played it on here. And then YouTube went, can't play that one. No. Didn't see that.
With Shia LaBeouf as well and some of the other Disney actors. And that's what ends up happening to a lot of them. So they're pushed through the industry. They're victims of satanic ritual abuse, most of them. But the stuff you're hearing with Hayden Panettiere that you're going to continue to hear is about a man on a boat and whistleblowing about how sick and disgusting Hollywood is. But they'll never really tell you the truth. And they won't tell you, most of these people who talk about Hayden, they'll tell you that she was going to blow the lid off of a lot of this stuff. She was 36. We could look at the numerology, of course, with 3 and 6 and 666 and 33. But why don't we just look at the basic signs and symbols, right? These are ways we could identify that they're in the club. Here she is doing the all-seeing eye, right in plain sight, right? Was it somebody just go, all right, we would like to take a picture of you for a magazine. She goes, wait, I just want to put my hand over my eye. This is really an attractive pose for me. I think it's great, right? Or this one where she's like, wait, take a picture of, this $1 million GQ photo shoot that's going to be in every grocery store in America. Hold on, I want to pick a booger out of my eye. That's the perfect shot. We'll use that and we'll put it in the magazine photo shoots, right? I mean, of course, these just couldn't be more obvious, right? Here's another one, a magazine cover. There's another little quirky thing they do where they shine light on one of the eyes. Look at underneath their name, Phoenix Rising, of course, and that's another just occult reference to Phoenix Rising. But I guess it's common, right? Because all of these celebrities, when they're asked in photo shoots, now this isn't them like if you're catching them at a restaurant and they're yawning and rubbing their eye and someone's going cheese and taking a picture of them. That'd be a little bit different, right? We could say, well, you're catching someone in a moment. I always talk about that with baseball players, right? A lot of them hold up 2 in the air, which they use devil horns to say there's 2 outs. And you can look at that and you can say, well, that is stretching a bit, right? To say that they're Satanists because they're holding it up during a baseball game, because you might have done that when you were a kid because you were trained to tell the outfield that there's 2 outs if you're an infielder, right? There's all these different things that can, of course, happen with your hand gestures. You could be caught in a moment. But when you're in a magazine shoot, okay, when it's being put in a magazine like GQ or Vogue or People magazine for the world to see, like all of these photos on your screen, it is not coincidental. They deliberately pose this way. They communicate through signs and symbols, just like...
Same as the Black Eye Club, wasn't it? And they all had black eyes. All these top leaders, all these top influencers, all suddenly started showing up on TV with a black eye.
Gangs communicate. 90% of America, 95% of America, 99, maybe even 100% of America believe that gangs use signs and symbols, right? We see it in movies. Oh, there's a gang sign. It's a gang code, right? But they don't believe that these people are in secret societies, which are really gangs, and showing you these symbols over and over. Look at the collage. Look at every celebrity you could possibly imagine doing the same symbol as Hayden, right? Whether it's putting a hand up over the eye or pretending to itch your eye or hold the thumb over your eye, having light shown on your eye or hair over your eye. It's all deliberately, strategically done. And if that's not enough for you, Hayden even let us know a couple of years ago that she got a new neck tattoo, right? Because again, remember, they've normalized getting tattoos, and people get mad at me when I talk about tattoos and bloodletting rituals and the marking of the flesh. And I'm not going to go down that because a lot of people have it. They've either gotten duped into it or thought it was normal because of all the conditioning through the television, seeing all the celebrities do it, all these shows about ink and getting ink. So a lot of people have tattoos, and then they get really upset, which is how human nature is. If I talk about any topic that's occult related, they partake in it in some way, they automatically put up a wall instead of going, oh, I didn't know that. Maybe I shouldn't partake in it. During my awakening process, I found a lot of things, music, etc., that I like to listen to, that the people involved in the music were Satanists and occultists. And of course, I didn't want to believe it, but I believed it. And I stopped listening to it. Same with sports and other things where you see the connections, right? Yoga is one of them. But tattoos and bloodletting, right? They've normalized that, getting markings on the flesh. And you could really look at a lot of these celebrities to see who they are through the markings on their flesh, because they mark themselves with these signs and symbols as well. So Hayden got a tattoo. People, well, she's got a new tattoo. She unveiled it on Instagram. Let's write an article about it. Well, look at the tattoo that was put on the neck of Hayden that Hayden asked for. Could it be any more obvious on the neck there?
Who's that obnoxious YouTuber, drunk? Same tattoo he got on his hand, isn't it?
Egyptian eye of Ra, the eye of, or I could call it what it really is, the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, the eye in the back of the dollar bill on top of the pyramid. That's what this whole system is run by, but happened to have that tattooed on the back of that. Of course, you see the 3 triangles above it, which a lot of these Satanists also have. They'll tell you it means water, fire, energy, this type of stuff. Jared Leto was another one that has those tattoos. Just like you see that also behind the ear of a lot of these celebrities, they have stars, 3 stars, which are really pentagrams on the back of their necks or on their ears, or some of them even on their wrists. I've gone through that in many videos, which are available on the website. But this is the all-seeing eye right on the back of her neck. Now, what does this have to do with it? Is she a fan of the money? She loves the dollar bill? Is that where she got the idea? Right? Like I said a million times, I mean, I can't say it enough. She failed optometry school too, like the rest of these.
And the owl. Don't forget they have the owl tattoo as well, don't they?
Celebrities who have, one eyeball tattoos, not two eyeballs. They aren't just, oh, well, maybe they like eyes. Maybe, his fetish is he loves a beautiful woman and he loves looking into the eyes of a beautiful woman. So he got a beautiful woman's eyes tattooed. No, they have one eye. It's always one eyeball, right? Just like they all hold up one hand over one eye, just like there's one eye on the dollar bill. No, she happened to get one eye in her back. So I'm sure it's because she was a failed optometrist, right? That's the reason that they'll tell you. Oh, no, they won't tell you any reason for it. They won't even try to rationalize why they have these markings on their flesh or why they take these pictures with one hand over that, because they don't expect you to see it, because your brain has not been trained to look at signs and symbols. And what this channel tries to do is show you the repetition of these signs and symbols.
Hashtag Rumble Takeover in the chat.
Symbols and how they all use them, so that your brain starts saying, whoa, now I'm starting to see, look at all these celebrities doing this and doing that. There is something to this. It isn't just them itching their eye or picking an eye booger out and then being photographed for GQ magazine, right? So she has the eye right there. Here's another very common one, which nobody ever picks up on. The vow of silence, right?
Yeah.
Shh, the finger over the mouth. What do you think? She's just like, I have a secret I'd like to tell the rest of the world. This is a code that they use with one another. They all have taken a vow of secrecy, an oath of silence, okay? They put the finger over their mouth, and they show one another, I'm in the brotherhood, just like you are. I'm in the, quote, fraternity. And then, of course, most people, when they hear about Freemasonry, Eastern Star, these secret societies which worship Lucifer, they dismiss it and think it's just like a fraternity, like at a frat house. They're doing keg stands or they're going and meeting together. They have no idea the rituals that are involved, which are mock death, mock human sacrifice rituals, the same types of things you see at Bohemian Grove and other places, right? So here's the finger over the lips, is the vow of silence. Again, you'll see all the celebrities just like they do with the hand over their eye, right? Ben Stiller, Johnny Depp. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Jennifer Aniston, who is an open admitted witch. I mean, they all are. I probably covered every single celebrity because there's something tying them directly to being a witch or, being in these secret societies. They don't hide it. They don't hide it all. And they're, in fact, indoctrinating you to get into these things. That's how really they've turned Christianity into this New Age Christianity with crystals and stones and altars. They've brought in paganism and witchcraft, and a lot of Christians have adopted it because of Hollywood, because they go on TV and they're like, no, I was raised a Christian, and, I believe in spirituality and using these altars and these crystals in my home. Right, and they also believe in and worship Lucifer, and they're trying to get you to partake in invoking spirits and demonic entities into your home. But, again, in this spiritual war we're under, most people don't believe that demons and demonic possession are real, even though the Bible talks about it, and most Christians just kind of brush over that and look at just the positive things in Scripture and don't look at the evil and the wickedness and how it's actually real and need to take it literally. Because guess what? These people do, these demons, more of them, right? Madonna, right? David Bowie and other Satanists. The Dalai Lama, of course, who I broke down in a video, tongue kissing a young 10-year-old, I believe, or 8-year-old boy. If you haven't seen that, you check it out. I mean, these people are sick. And they're not only walking among us, they're worshiped like gods among us, right? Does that all sound familiar? You got Rihanna even getting it tattooed on her finger, right? What's the big secret? Rihanna farted? Didn't want you to know? What's the secret, Rihanna? Well, some of them, the secret is they've got dollywaggers between their legs, dongs, schlongs, whatever you want to call them, penises, right? But that's not the secret that they're actually referencing, but I mean, it does tie into it, right? Even Lindsay Lohan, same tattoo on her finger. That's Rihanna, right? Is she a big Rihanna fan? So she got it. Who had it first? We should find out. We should do a True Hollywood story. Who got the tattoo and why? Between the two of them, right? Nobody finds it suspicious at all. Lady Barfbag Gaga doing the 666 hand sign over its eye, right? With the finger over the lip. Even I covered recently this, the soccer players who are doing it. I mean, this is a common Freemasonic code Okay, it is the vow of silence. Now let's move on to some of the other symbols as well. The bathtub, very common. Most people, of course, never pay attention to this. And, they haven't been trained to, so it's understandable why they don't. But if I show you this stuff, then you go, oh yeah, why are they always taking a picture in a bathtub? And some will go, well, it's sexy, right? We need these celebrities in a bathtub. They take a picture in a bathtub because, of course, this is a ritual, and they're baptized in the occult, just like Christians are baptized in water, like John the Baptist baptized, right? We know Christian churches now, you're baptized in the water. Well, they're baptized as well, just in the occult. Now, you'll see imagery like this of her sitting in a tub multiple times, right? And you won't think anything of it. It's a magazine photo shoot. You're supposed to think it's just sexy that she's inviting you into the tub with her so you can see her third leg or whatever you might have, right? And I just covered this with Messi, where we had the World Cup and this ritual where these, he happened to be bathing this young kid he never met, X amount of years ago, 19 year, whatever it was. Years ago, I can't remember off the top of my head. And then they happen to be playing in the World Cup, and they're two biggest players in the world, right? And they're holding up the 666 sign and everything else, right? And again, Freemasonry. Are you a Mason? This is imagery from Freemasonry. The initiation, the ritual bath constitutes one of the clearest symbolic images of initiatory transition. Water signifies purification, the washing away of the former condition, and the preparation of a new identity. The image is equally defined by the condition of the candidate himself, stripped of ordinary dress, exposed, physically vulnerable, and placed under the care or direction of an established figure. The candidate is presented as one who has not yet acquired status or authority. The bath marks a threshold between identities. Nakedness or partial exposure may visually reinforce innocence, dependence, and the absence of former rank. Water marks purification, and the presence of the senior or established figure may signify guidance, transmission, and preparation for what follows. So this is a common thing in Freemasonry. And again, I've talked about the occult baptism, the satanic bloodbath baptism is another common one, right? Eminem in the bloodbath in his 3 a.m. video, 3 a.m., another video I've done on that time, 3 o'clock in the morning. There's a lot of songs about 3 o'clock in the morning. You might wake up sometimes at 3 o'clock in the morning or all the time. It's a spiritual hour. It's where most of their rituals occur at 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's believed, of course, as an inversion to the time that Jesus Christ died, which this is, look, you could argue in the context, that's not the time that he died. That's not the day of his birth. We see how Christians love to argue about every little topic, which Bible you have to read versus which one you can't read. I mean, it gets ridiculous. But it's believed that he was crucified and died at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. They invert everything that's part of the occult, or everything's upside down. So 3 o'clock in the morning they use as a ritual sacrifice time. And that's why Eminem has a song 3 a.m. There's a lot of songs there's about 3 o'clock in the morning. We see Machine Gun Kelly, who's supposed to be a sworn enemy in this fake Hollywood feud. They're probably lovers in a bathtub filled with blood. Rihanna, again, the bathtub. You see the pattern here with all these people in bathtubs. Even if they're not in water, they could be in purple goo like Miley Cyrus, the virus, or Taylor Swift and Jules doing the Exo-Cyrus symbol across their chest. Justin Bieber, I can go on for hours. I mean, you'll find all these celebrities doing the same exact poses if you look hard enough, or if you just watch the videos I have on the website. So this is part of a Freemasonic initiation ritual. And of course, to be in Hollywood, you have to go through these levels of Freemasonry. People go, well, Freemasonry is not at the top of the pyramid. Freemasonry is indoctrination into the Kabbalah, into black magic and sorcery. Okay, so they're all connected to one another. Here she is wearing the black and white checkerboard symbolism. This is another common one. Most people dismiss it because they go, well, they could just pick out an outfit. I own a black and white checkerboard outfit, Well, first of all, the reason that it's popular, the reason that they sell it, okay? And then the reason that you end up buying it without even realizing why you're buying is because the celebrities push it on you. That's why. Because really, black and white's pretty hideous. When you see the black and white checkerboard floor inside of like mansions and stuff, I think it's pretty hideous, personally, but to each their own, right? But the reason you see it, of course, the reason you see her wearing the outfit right on the Ellen show, right, hanging out with Ellen and Ellen's penis, or hanging out here with multiple, boyfriend, always wearing the black and white colors, whether it's the checkerboard or the stripe. It's duality. As above, so below. Your good deeds outweigh your bad deeds. Every Freemasonic lodge in America, and here's the Eastern Star Lodge, which again is the female version of Freemasonry.
He never picked up on the broken finger one yet, has he? Yeah, data centers in the bath of water. Yeah.
Freemasonry, where you see the upside down pentagram is the logo for the Eastern Star. But they're not witches, folks, right? How much more obvious can this stuff be? I mean, really, right? We're the Eastern Star, and we're coming to your church, and you're like, oh, look, and the Freemasons, they come to our church too. They must be Christians. They show up there, right? Yeah, no, the devil wouldn't lie to you and deceive you and pretend to be a member of your congregation in your church, then be doing all these rituals underground and everything else unimaginable to the human mind, because the stuff they do is unimaginable. But anyway, the black and white checkerboard floor, again, that's why they wear and normalize the black and white colors. You'll see it in every single lodge has this coloring. And of course, this girl, Hayden, or guy, whatever you believe, was on.
Yeah, and Knights Templar Mason, Blunt, Knights Templar as well. Yes, November, man. No, where did the Knights Templar go? They went to Scotland, didn't they? Set up the lodge. Those that never hung or got burnt went and set up the lodge, didn't they? In Scotland. And everybody thinks the Knights Templar are the good guys.
On a television show, Nashville, performed a very famous, popular song, Tell That Devil, right? They're always referencing God and the devil right in front of everyone's faces, but you're trained to believe in the school system and evolution and everything else. This is spiritual war, folks. And you got to be able to look through it. So, Hayden, you see all the signs and symbols that I always expose in this channel that are related to the occult. She was groomed to be a child star. Look at the wording, groomed to be a child star.
Advertisers expand your reach and elevate your campaign performance with untapped audiences.
They all are. They're groomed. Their parents likely go through the same process. They're government operatives. And even people look, they're like, well, her mother's not really that famous. She was just a soap opera star, right? Well, maybe she wasn't the highest degree, maybe the most famous, Eastern Star witch that you know, but they push their kids through it. It's a controlled industry like everything else. You're not getting in. They want you to think you can, which is why they have shows like American Idol. These are all illusions. Shows like about, oh, so-and-so wrote a screenplay, Matt Damon, and he became famous. You can too, right? So that you just end up, like I always say, the mouse in the wheel, always trying to attain something you can't attain. Leads to depression, suicide, all these other things, right? Failure in life, trying to achieve something that you shouldn't even be trying to achieve, where you don't feel fulfilled even if you do somehow achieve it. But of course, to achieve it, you have to be involved, and that always obviously is involving, I should say, ritual sacrifice. And the question will be, was she a ritual sacrifice offering? And it's very likely most of these people are. Could they OD on drugs because of the trauma they've been put through? Yes, that is a very good possibility, which is probably what you'll end up hearing, is that she relapsed or died of drugs or alcohol. But people go, I don't believe it. I think she was going to expose it. Well, sometimes these people, their minds get so frayed from all the abuse that they go through as children that when they're adults, they turn to drugs and alcohol and they end up dying from drugs and alcohol. So it doesn't mean that they're not in the occult at all, but it certainly doesn't mean that they tried to silence them because they were going to expose something, because these people are tortured and put through so much trauma that they're never actually going to reveal what they're put through. They would never ever make it to air if they found out, because they're monitored 24/7, just like we're monitored 24/7. These people have handlers who look over them. But sacrifice is the name of the game. And I always show this clip from the movie The Believers that Martin Sheen is in, where Martin Sheen is told that he could have this extravagant life and he could join this, elite group, but all he has to do is give up and sacrifice something. And of course, what they're referencing in this clip, you'll see, is the sacrificing of his own son. So that's how this thing works.
Same as Eyes Wide Shut. Eyes Wide Shut. Stanley Kubrick. Morning Art. And they deleted loads of scenes. That was about sacrificing their child as well. What is the Kabbalah? What is the Baal worship? Why were they cast out? Why were they cast out and cast into the desert? Why was the covenant with God broken? They claim they go after all this scripture and say it's the promised land and all that lot. Well, no, they were cast out. The covenant, they broke the covenant with God. They broke the covenant with God. It's already fulfilled. And you'll find most Orthodox Jews, Israel shouldn't exist. It's what they say. They don't worship the flag of Rantan. They set fire to it. They blame it for a lot of things, and even they say they shouldn't be in Israel. They need to wait for the Messiah to come, or the Messiah. Yep, 20 minutes missing from that. Yeah, but I've played it on ear blunt, all the missing clips. I'll have to find it again. And they changed it, and they completely rewrote the ending, didn't they? Because Stanley Kubrick passed away, didn't they? And they rewrote the ending of it.
Right? Human sacrifice, which they told you and tell you doesn't really occur anymore. It does occur. But they know that they can't admit it out in the open or the people would rise up against it. So they put stuff out there saying that people like me are crazy conspiracy nuts, that we're talking about human sacrifice, that doesn't happen. And how could it actually happen? These people will go to jail. Well, it happens underground. You'll never find out about it. Most of these kids are bred for sacrifice. So you wouldn't even know. And we say, what does that mean? A lot of these witches are impregnated to birth children who are consumed and sacrificed. So they're Jane and John Does. You would never know the kid was even born, right? Versus a lot of these kids who go missing, who couldn't even go missing, who are eventually trafficked when they supposedly go missing underground and used for human sacrifice. That's how this whole thing actually works. So could she have been sacrificed? Yes, very likely. Could she have overdosed? Just as likely. Could something else have occurred? Sure. But we know, obviously, that all of these people, through signs and symbols, are involved in this. And this is the price that a lot of them pay when they're a part of the club. Now, a lot of them, you could say,
it was like, what's she called? You know, that was supposed to be driving around crazy in her car, wasn't it? And she had the car crash, you know, and they said that she died at the scene. And they got her on the fucking ambulance dolly, whatever you want to call it. And she's supposed to be in the body bag, and she sits bolt upright and unzips the body bag. But she's supposed to be brown bread. No, if she's brown bread, how does she sit up? How does she unzip the body bag? You know, but they declared her dead at the scene. So what happened in the ambulance? What happened where they took the ambulance? Yeah, on the gurney. She sat bolt upright, didn't she? She was going out of her mind. Well, they showed it today, did they? God, I showed that. God, got to be 2 years ago, isn't it? Well, she was another one speaking out, wasn't she? She was like beside herself. She was speaking out about it. Was it DeGenerate's wife? Was it? I can't remember. Was it Ellen DeGenerate's wife? I have to dig the clips back out again.
They don't want to be a part of it, right? Hayden didn't want to be a part of it. She was 11 months old and pushed into the industry, right? Well, I look at it from two different perspectives. Obviously, I feel sympathy for an 11-month-old that's pushed into any industry, or any child whose parents do this to them. I mean, we could go into Kanye West and their daughter, who's now coming out with MK Ultra music videos, which I need to break down if I get the time. Obviously, I don't have the time to make as much content as I used to because of the demonetization, and you know, my channel has just been. Most people think I'm gone or dead, so I don't have any members on the website or Patreon. So it's hard for me to make a lot of content. But I want to cover Kanye West's daughter. I did briefly over the years with the red balloon, and now you could see clearly in this demonic video that the daughter just released that she is full on under trauma-based mind control. It's pretty frightening. But just like her, Hayden, all of them are put through. So
so sorry to hear that, Beth. So sorry to hear that. You take it easy, Beth. No, it's true. It's never nice. There's like no words, no words that you can say. But we all believe we go to a better place. Let's hope we do go to a better place, and let's hope she's not in pain anymore. The pain's gone now. But I'm so sorry to hear that, Beth. No, I had it just a few weeks ago. Yeah, my words exactly, Beth. And take it easy, Beth, and just stay strong. We never know when that time's coming, though, do we? Never know when that time's coming. But it's the only thing we're guaranteed in life, and you just got to fill life with all hopes and dreams, haven't you? And try and fulfill your dreams.
Feel sympathy for them, but at the same time, when they become adults, they still have free will in a sense and have the ability to break away. Do I believe that she was breaking away, was going to blow up Hollywood's big secrets? No, I do not. I do not give any of these celebrities any credit ever thinking that they're going to blow something up, because they're not going to blow something up. You would never know they're going to blow something up. And the fact of the matter is that these people are under full-on control, like most of the population is under full-on mind control. Right? And full-on control where the government kind of persuades you into this, persuades you into that, where you think that you have free will, but you don't. So Hayden, another young actor, actress at the age of 36, which is a common number, right? We know the 27 club. We know 33 is obviously always used in sacrifice. 36 is another one, right? 3 and 6, 3 6s, 6 6 6. So you see the connection. You could see she was a part of the club. Whether anybody out there wants to question what this is or not, you can't question that Hayden, along with all these other celebrities, are part of the club. And part of the job description when you're in these secret societies is that when they come knocking for sacrifice, if you ain't doing it, well, guess what? You'll likely become one of them. Or in some of these cases, the parents sacrificing their own children, right? Just ask John Travolta or some of the many other Hollywood celebrities whose children just die mysteriously at young ages. That's part of the game. And when the children are in the public eye, the celebrities have to come out and say, oh, you know, so-and-so slipped on in the bathroom and hit their head on the bathtub, right? And then their careers pick up and they, you know, become relevant again in society because, of course, that's what's really important to most of these Satanists is being worshipped like gods, which, again, is part of the forbidden knowledge and the esoteric crap that they believe they love to be worshipped like gods among us. But the reality is that they're really just turds among us whose time is short. I thank everybody for being here. I hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families as always.
Does this simple
There, DL, I've been muted up all the time I was talking. Oh, what did I say now? I was talking about no, you don't have to thank us, Beth. No need to thank us, you know. But I was talking about Kardashian, Kanye. You know, Kanye West was exposing it all. He wanted his daughter and everything else, you know. And he was exposing everything that the Kardashians were putting Kanye's daughter through. And he got cancelled everywhere, didn't he? He lost all his sponsorship deals, his music deals. He lost everything. Was it music deals? I can't remember now. But basically, he lost everything, and they cancelled him on air. And some of the stuff they exposed, they took it down. Dad, you know, those tabs up there, they're like my tabs. You know, Beyonce goes, fuck, you know, all those tabs you got open, Smiler. That's right. I've got 3 screens, and you know, I split one screen into 4 sometimes. So you know, you got like 6 screens, 7 screens. I said I still got all those tabs running. But then I built a decent enough computer that it could have run all those tabs. Right. This is Donut. This is Donut. Nah, Kanye was putting everything out there. He was putting everything out there, and he got silenced, completely silenced. He got his whole career wrecked. Candace, well, Candace, I scratch my head at her sometimes. You know, you got Candace's family. You know, putting all the money up for GB News. You know, and GB News is pushing the Farage shit. No, Smiler, wrong. How am I wrong? What am I wrong about? Candace was brought up Jewish, and she turned to Orthodox Christianity. Yeah, you aren't telling me what you keep saying wrong. You keep saying wrong, but what am I wrong about? She did change to it. She did change over to Orthodox Christianity. Her family are Jewish, and they fund GB News. That ain't wrong. That's the fact. Tabs and windows, yeah. This is the video that I'm showing now. This is his tabs, not my tabs. My tabs are worse, Stu. My tabs are worse. Hello, Max. How you doing? I'm still using Restream, Max. I'm still getting my head around it. I did succumb and paid her 16 quid a month. I don't think the figure is 60 million, but a lot of the Jews don't want to go to Israel. They say Israel doesn't represent them. They don't even wave the flags. They set fire to the flags. No, not this one, Max. Not this one. This is Hayden Panettiere, the actor. She was an actor from 11 months old. Bring it on again. Well, I mean, I've done live streams about Pax Judaica. we know what psyops they do. They've done it from year dot. They've done it, you know, the Haganah, the Irgun, the Lehi, you know, the three terrorist organizations which set up the Likud party, which Netanyahu's in charge of now, the Likud party. You know, that was Lehi, Irgun, and Haganah. You know, it was the Haganah and Lehi that were killing British troops in 1948. Yeah, they went to Egypt. They went to a big Jewish area in Egypt and let off a few bombs so that the Jewish enclave would move over to Israel. But then at the same time, they sank 2 ships because they had the wrong Jews on. And the Haganah set bombs in the hulls of the ships and blew up the 2 ships. I've said the names of the 2 boats. I've shown it on here, the 2 boats, and them saying they didn't realize it was going to blow up as badly as it did. Yeah, I think she does mean the 6 million. There's always 6s. I've shown it time and time again where they're telling you that they need so many to go there. They need so many Christians to die. You know, why aren't they do? Why isn't the government, and the government is supposed to do something? I mean, that's another live stream, but the government is supposed to do something in Syria. You know, with the man that they put in charge, our government helped to put in charge, ISIS, Al-Jilani. They put him in charge. They sent him loads of money. Us, the taxpayer, have paid for him to annihilate Jews, annihilate Christians, rather. Christians and Druze are being decapitated by the day. Same in Israel. Completely split Bethlehem by a brick wall or concrete wall. Now taking over Christian villages, which are solely Christian villages, driving Christians out. Bomb their own embassy in London. Car bombed. Dress up as Arabs. Even their latest film by Cohen. The latest film that they're releasing in a few days' time. You know, it's all Jews in the play, all Jews in the film, famous Jewish actors that all look like Arabs. They all look like Muslims. All shouting Alan Snack Bar, aren't they? All right, catch you in a bit, Art. Catch you later. Exactly, Max. Exactly. But he's going to have a guest up in a minute. These 3 are funny. These 3 are brilliant. They are. The link is pinned, Max. If you're popping up. I'm still wrapping my head around Restream. It was a difficult one the other day. I was trying to work out how to set up a stream because what I kept doing is I kept leaving my Restream open and then just changing the title. Oh, 3 times I had to stop and start, stop and start, stop and start. Because I could hear myself each time it had me as a guest. I was a guest on my own panel and I couldn't work it out. No worries, Max. Yeah, you take care, November man. Just have a listen to this, but hopefully YouTube won't take it down. I'll leave it up anyway. All right. I still want to know what I'm wrong with, Nixie. All right, roll VT. Let's get on to it.
And I did a podcast that will be released.
And let me know whether you got volume. Can you hear it?
On Ariana Grande, and she broke this information to me about the eclipse because I didn't look too much into this. So this is going to be a wild show. So if you're just hopping on right now, please smash that like button and let's get right into it. Thomas, with that, what is going on in your mind when I'm bringing up this? Because we did not talk before we did the show.
No, we're doing it live. So, which is my favorite kind, man. We just have like a good conversation and everything is kind of fresh. And you were just mentioning that you haven't actually seen a whole lot of the Heroes TV series. And I was obsessed with the first season. So I think the most important part for anyone that's not familiar with the Heroes show, the whole premise was that she was the key to saving humanity. Like the whole phrase, it was like save the cheerleader, save the world, and she was the cheerleader. So there's something for anyone that was like completely tapped into this Heroes show when it first launched. Knowing that the cheerleader is dead, it kind of makes it seem like the world's going to end now, because that would be the next logical conclusion from that. And just I mentioned this too earlier when me and you were talking. I didn't mention what it was, but I think I put together one of the very first Heroes fan sites. Like it was a conspiracy fan theory whenever this show came out, like it was 06 or 07 or something. And I had a site called SilerEatsBrains.com, and any of my like OG Heroes fans might remember in the very first season that there was speculation whether or not like the bad guy was basically killing all the good guy heroes and then eating their brains, and then when he would eat their brains, he would inherit whatever superpowers they had. So he was kind of going around like an evil brain-eating Pokemon trainer, and every time he would capture a hero and eat their brain, he'd absorb more and more powers. So you get the idea that on a long enough timeline, Skylar is going to have like every single major superhero ability, and he might be the one that ends the entire world.
Wow, I did not know that. So with the passing of this,
that's not me, that's him.
There's some strange ties into Jeffrey as well in this August window of time. So okay, so this is the last video that I put out on the Ariana Grande, and going over how so many different people were doing the blood baptisms, where it was Katy Perry, who's right now dancing with toilet plungers with the Sinclair. This is a viral news story.
I hope she cut you a check with some royalties on that.
Me too. And Isaac actually just entered the building, so we're going to bring him on right now. But this is the video that I was showing of where I got the information from, and I'm so grateful to be here with Isaac Weishaupt, Illuminati Watcher. What up?
What's up, dudes?
Hey, good to see you again.
Hey, I'm here to challenge Paranoid American to a good old-fashioned fist fight for defending Elon Musk in my comment section. How dare he do such a thing?
Have you ever heard of Roscoe's Basilisk? Because all I'm saying is that you got to plant the seeds where you're like, no, I was there. I supported the AI takeover, so spare me, right?
You're a
Kill me
smart
last
man.
at least.
You're a smart man. I should do that.
That's hilarious. I heard that there was big groups praying for Paranoid American. Words getting around in the street that there's actual groups that have been doing prayers for him.
I'm not going to turn it away. If anyone out there wants to do it, the movement is called Pray for Paranoid, I think. So if you want to pray for me, go ahead. I can't stop you. Even if I didn't want you to, I wouldn't be able to stop you from doing it. So go ahead.
So,
what's the prayer for?
Yeah.
I'm still figuring it out, but I've been doing a show called Straight Bible at the Nephilim Death Squad studios. Every once in a while, it might be like a monthly thing at some point, but we went over a long 700-page book called The Whore and the Beast, or The Woman and the Beast, or something about.
Rumble Studio is the answer to everything. We have a show on the hour every hour, and we started
About the Catholic Church, and then next we're going to do one on Genesis. But it was, I guess, as the result of that episode, now people are praying for my soul.
All right.
I pray for you every day. So Isaac, first, congratulations on that fabulous podcast that you did with David Whitehead. That was incredible. So happy to see you up on there. And shout out to Jamie Hanshaw as well, because I just did a show with her, and she was pointing to this eclipse stuff and was asking me, did I see anything? And we were both like, Isaac broke down the story. So I want to get into this with you because I want to respect your time. What are you seeing right now? Who's this lady? How is this all connected? What have you been finding?
Man, there's so much. So, I'm not going to butcher her last name, but I'll just say Hayden, right? So Hayden passed away, and I knew who she was from Heroes, right? I watched Heroes when it came out years ago, for the first, 2-3 seasons. She's been in a ton of stuff, and I learned a lot about her over the last couple of days of researching her, right? Like I got her book, which I've been corrected many times. I'm mispronouncing the term. I called it a memoir. And I've been corrected in my comment section. It's actually a meme wire. So anyway, no, I'm just kidding. Memoir. I'm screwing with the people. I'm trying to troll them back by mispronouncing their correction. So it's called a memoir, apparently. I didn't know that. Anyway,
whenever someone makes fun of the way that you pronounce a word, though, all it means is that you read books and that you came across a word you haven't heard out loud. So it's a tell that you read, and that sometimes that offends people. So it's like, oh, you don't even know how to say the word. It's like, bro, I've been reading and learning new things. My bad,
dude. You're 100% correct with that. That's exactly how that goes, right? There's a lot of weird, especially when you research the occult. There's lots of weird names and stuff, and I butcher them most of the time. And that's actually ironically one of the things I'm trying to do better is look up pronunciations of certain terms. But yeah, I've learned a lot about her in the last few days because I didn't really follow her. I didn't really know much about her. The short version of what I found when I did. So, okay, let me back up. So I think it was Sunday I saw she passed, and in this field of research, there's always this, well, man, a young celebrity dies, like is there some kind of occult connection? And I didn't at first glance really think or see a whole lot. And I thought, okay, whatever. And then around like midnight, I'm getting ready to go to bed, and I was like, man, let me look into this one more time. And I started digging into it, and I was like, holy crap. I found so much that ties into the world of, and I imagine you're on YouTube right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. I find so much that connects into the world of the financier, right? Is that a safe term?
Jeffrey, yes, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, okay.
That's what I call him.
Okay, so Jeffrey, right? And I found something really interesting is at the time, and a lot of people have talked about this since I did the show, so I don't know how much of this is going to be, revelatory, but in chapter 23 of her book, she talks about how this like close mentor / friend of hers named Stella, which is allegedly a pseudonym. Stella basically tried to groom her to sleep with this British singer-songwriter in his 30s, is what she says in the book. And that sounds a lot like the stories of Jeffrey and all the people that the groomer would establish contact with clients and such, right? And in the book, she talks about how it's this yacht full of celebrities, and she calls it the oligarch yacht. the oligarch yacht, which is a really curious term to use, right? Oh, you already got that up there. Good donuts on it. So she, and then in an interview, and I'm already working on a part 2, right? Because I found a ton of stuff now that everyone's talking about it. I found a ton more information that actually opened up more rabbit holes. But she, in an interview with, let me get the name right here. Tamron Hall, she says that it wasn't just one person who was doing this sort of like grooming stuff. She said it's a very, very big crew, right? Organized group, right, is what we're talking about, which sounds a lot like Jeffrey. And basically, then you go into more allegations and theories and hypotheticals that who this Stella person was supposed to be this other person. And I'm not going to, I don't know. I said it on my video. Now I'm like second guessing if I should have said the name out loud because this person's apparently suing people. We'll just say there's a woman named Diana that supposedly people online, not me, are saying is Stella secretly. And Diana will sue people apparently for talking about this claim. I guess there's like this history of this. Again, this is a world I don't know anything about Hayden. I'm not a huge fan. I don't follow her, but apparently this was a thing going around before, right? Well, Diana had a book, and in the book, it's a photo book, and she has photos of all these celebrities, and Hayden was in that book, right? The book's called Room 23, and I thought, well, that's interesting that Hayden's memoir, chapter 23, talks about this yacht with this pseudonym, and then the book is called Room 23 from Diana, who's the alleged, connection into the pseudonym. And of course, you guys already know where we're going with that, right? We got the symbolism of the number
one number
23.
from the end of it, right?
What's that?
You're just missing one number from the end of it.
Well, the 23, right? We got the 23 Enigma is kind of what I was thinking, right?
Oh, I was going right for Room 237, which would be like a Kubrick shining human trafficking angle.
Dude, yes, good addition, man. I like that. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that. I thought
she passed away, I believe, around like 232. So it's got the 23s all in that, like an anagram.
Yeah. There's that too, and because like a lot of this stuff is new since I recorded the video, like the time of death and those types of things. But yeah, 23 goes back through Aleister Crowley was the guy that sort of popularized this idea called 23 Skidoo, and what that means is to like sort of like rapidly eject from a situation, right? The 23 Skidoo. And then from there you've got William S. Burroughs, who talked about the 23 Enigma, which was based off of like synchronicity events and things like this, right? Because it's about this, which is interesting because it ties into Backrooms. For people who don't know the story of the 23 Enigma, William S. Burroughs was in Tangiers in the 60s, and he met a guy named Captain Clark, who was a ship captain, and he was bragging. He's like, dude, I went 23 years, not one accident. And then Captain Clark goes out to sea, and Paranoid American's got the ship captain hat on. That's great. Goes out to sea.
Well, yeah, it's the Illuminati Yacht Club.
I want to join, man. Let me in.
No, you're already a member. Yeah, you're already a member.
Oh, good. I didn't know.
With that Rob Zombie shirt, that's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, usually I'm sleeveless mode, but I had to leave the house for something and I came back. But so the ship sinks and kills everybody on board. Then the next day, William Burroughs hears news of a Flight 23 that crashes, and that also had a Captain Clark. That's where the 23 Enigma comes from, and then goes into Discordianism, Robert Anton Wilson's realm, which is also, by the way, he got his start working editorials for Playboy, which Hugh Hefner in the news recently for not only wearing a ship captain's hat as well, but also he's allegedly telling the feds about Jeffrey back before anyone knew about it. But I bring all this up because the movie Backrooms, right? What's the main character in Backrooms? Captain Clark, right? Captain Clark's furniture empire, Ottoman Empire. Yeah, there we go. There's an image of the yacht. The
you got the same hat on.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, I found all these crazy things, man. And in my episode, which is still up on the YouTube, by the way, a quick plug for the YouTube at Occult Symbolism. If you're on the YouTube, check it out while I'm on there. I just got copyright striked, and I made a whole video crying about what happened to me. But
you went through your re-education camp though, so you're much better. I also went through re-education camp recently for my Madonna video.
On Rumble, stream 24/7 with your favorite live streams, viral videos,
Adverts.
live podcasts.
I had to be trained on the neurotic erotica. Yes, I got in trouble.
Good boy.
I'm
That's
very
funny because
grateful, yes.
Hayden passed on Madonna's birthday, right? Madonna is my Kabbalah queen. I'm actually preparing a massive show about her, which probably won't come out for like another year because I'm reading her biography book, and it's like massive. But
Wow. So like even when you're looking, she passed away on the big Illuminati celebritas Madonna, who's super in the news right now. Even when you look at videos, for example, like when I go to your video, you could see her up in the corner doing the Illuminati yoni symbol right here in the corner. So I think that it's all connected from what you were talking about with Ariana Grande.
Hello. Plastic. Hello. I don't know if you got mic problems or what. I don't know. No, that was supposed to be Plaffergun. I don't know where he is. Five by five, yeah. So I've been having a 5-minute argument with Google AI. About the population and why the population has never changed. The Red Cross and the almanacs. Well, I'm arguing about it, about the theme parks. I call them theme parks. Nothing other than theme parks. And then statements of family have said to me, I spend a lot of time arguing with Google. Who's this? Hello.
Hey, hello. Can you hear me?
I can now.
Oh, thank God.
I don't know what happened the first time. The first time you come up, there's nothing.
Always. Jeez. How's it going, man?
Yeah, good.
All right.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, man. Let's make it better, yeah. So good, yeah. Like churning butter. Yeah, know the cows, the heifers.
Gotta have the cows. We don't want any of this chemical milk that they're now making and they're gonna start selling. Not even real milk, made in a laboratory. Milk made in a lab going on the shelves soon. Right.
to Perez and all this. I believe it's all, even with Katy Perry, that it's not just one person in the ritual. It's like a collective ritual in a sense. Please continue.
Yeah, dude. And what's interesting is that in the Madonna book that I'm reading, there's it starts out and they're portraying this picture of Madonna as this woman who really was motivated to become, you know, somebody big and famous, and she did it against the odds that were presented to her with all of these sort of patriarchal figures in the music industry and the movie industry. And I'm not denying, I'm not saying like, oh, there's no patriarchy, but I am saying that I find it hard to believe that someone can get and infiltrate the system, and all these gatekeepers are going to be like, oh, they figured out how to get past us. Like, that's BS to me. I don't buy that for a second, right? And I love Madonna, right? This isn't a condemnation against my Kabbalah queen, but she is definitely Illuminate confirmed, and
Right.
I think that she was put in positions.
Ariana Grande thanked her publicly, and we don't know why, but she thanked her publicly. It's just the connection to all these Lady Gagas and all this.
Well, there's an interesting thread there, right? Because Madonna, you do have like the Kabbalah connection, because she started making that popular in like the 2000s with the little red string, where she was going to be like, and she renamed herself Esther, right, as part of that. Lady Gaga is a spirit cooker. So all of them, and Ariana Grande, I'll never be able to separate her from just straight up theosophy, like Blavatsky personified modern day, because that's what like her entire career is now sort of amplified by, right? Like the whole entire the Oz, like the Wizard of Oz aspect. So all three of these women are basically represent these three different paths of like New Age religions.
Man, you're good at this, bro.
I like to say that the rabbis do not like Madonna. They say that she's doing the fake Kabbalah, and I've heard
the red string Kabbalah is supposed to be like a Hollywood version of Kabbalah, right? Like it's not normal Kabbalah.
So in LA, they got the Kabbalah places with Madonna, and all the like Orthodox rabbis, they hate it because you're not supposed to like make money off of it or something. It's just a fun fact that I don't think a lot of people know about.
So yeah, like Madonna, she went to the Hollywood Center for Kabbalah, where Rabbi Philip Berg was running things, and they're doing all kinds of weird, like they were selling Kabbalah water in the 90s. I was just watching a really good YouTube channel on this exact topic. They were selling this Kabbalah water where they were spiritually infusing the water and telling people it would heal them all these diseases and stuff, and it was kind of crazy, right? A case
It's a
of
great
water was
grift.
like,
I mean,
it is, dude.
Water, you know, here you go. You know, I got this alien water right here. Good.
I did the whole conspiracy theory around the Manchester Arena blunt. I did Manchester Arena 7/7 and 9/11, obviously. Did the whole conspiracy theory on that. Why is Google Chat not giving me the link to that book? Ulick, if you're still there, post that link again, because it's coming through on my chat in Restream, but it's not showing for me in my chat for YouTube. I don't get why. It did this the other day. It was showing some in Restream, but wasn't showing it. There, Bad Marsh. Richard D. Hall. Why is it not showing me in YouTube? Because I normally go to YouTube to hit my links that people share. Ah, you removed the comment. Ah, right, okay. Yeah, that's why I couldn't see it. I'm going here. I've just refreshed the screen twice. Mm. It came through all right then. You could hear it. You could hear it, but you couldn't see it. That's another copyright I got removed tomorrow.
Yeah, and Ariana Grande, obviously she's part of Kabbalah now. She's got the red string. It's in one of her music videos, the Kabbalah Tree of Life. She retrieves from an alien chest, and PA makes a good point there, right? With I never thought about that with Blavatsky and Oz and how that all ties in, because Wizard of Oz is always like 2 degrees of separation from all of this stuff. You know what I mean? From in the world of Twin Peaks, is you don't get Twin Peaks without Wizard of Oz. You don't get a lot of this occult thinking and this over the rainbow dissociation.
I'd even go one
stuff.
step further. I'd say you don't even get Broadway without Helena Blavatsky, because Blavatsky, when she moved to the States, she moved into basically what ends up becoming the future Broadway, like that ends up spawning the rest of like the whole Broadway culture and like theater drama kids. Like there aren't drama kids without Blavatsky.
Wow. I hadn't heard that before. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know a lot about Blavatsky. I know I've tried to get through some of her what is it, The Secret Wisdom? I forget what the big book.
Secret
is, like, in
Doctrine,
2 parts.
yeah.
The Secret Doctrine.
Yeah. Man, it's like way over my head, dude. I'm like, I don't know what this lady's talking
Honestly,
about.
you could just read Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I mean, these go down some deep rabbit holes. I get halfway down the rabbit holes and then jump back out again.
There's some L. Frank Baum, or even.
But when you go down the rabbit holes, if I come on here with the rabbit holes, people just think you're crazy, you know? So instead of it coming out of my mouth, it's better to come out of their mouth, isn't it? You know, but I'll put the links in for their channels, etc. I don't know how many people go over. I don't know.
In my opinion, you can watch the latest 2 movies with Ariana Grande and the other chick, Cynthia, whatever, Elphaba, which stands for L. Frank Baum, who was also a major theosophist.
Yeah,
and
no
her,
doubt,
her,
man.
her newest video, a follow-up, which I thought was interesting, she kept saying, "What's in the blood?" So there was something in the blood.
We know what it is.
What was it?
The Dernaderm.
Oh, yes.
The Adernadern.
Pia knows all about that. Now, real quick though, before we get off that topic, Madonna. So another strange aspect of to go back to Hayden a little bit. One of her first popular films. Let me get the year of this. 2005, Ice Princess. It was a Disney film, and it starred Hayden and another woman named Michelle Trachtenberg. And Michelle Trachtenberg, she just died last year, right? And she's another one of these, like, she died at age 39. So you've got another child celebrity actress who supposedly died. Again, and it was a very mysterious death. The Wikipedia says the primary cause of death was complications of diabetes, but then the family claimed that they objected to an autopsy for religious reasons. I don't know. Her mother is of the certain faith that, I don't know if you want me to say it on here or not, but like I don't know if that's a part of the faith or not, right?
What?
To do reject autopsies for a religious purpose? Do you know?
For Jews?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah, like
sorry, I'm triggered. I'm
He's
triggered
allowed
trying
to say
certain words on here.
He's allowed to say the J word.
I've been removed off Vimeo permanently before the hatred was allowed to, for being an anti-me. But I think that might be true, because it's unkosher to be an organ donor.
Yeah.
It's unkosher, so that does check in.
Okay. Yeah, that's what they said on the sort of a.
Yeah, they don't mind removing other people's organs and selling them on the black market. That's absolutely fine. And I'm not lying, you've got convicted ones. I've shown them on here being convicted for organ donor or removal of organs. Yeah. Yeah. He was convicted of having his own lab and selling organs to Americans, selling children's organs to Americans. And he was convicted a couple of years ago. I showed his arrest and everything else. I can't remember his name, but I can find it.
Official wiki. Now, something interesting about that movie, about the Ice Princess, and I've never seen it, right? But on the soundtrack was Madonna's Ray of Light. And that whole album, Ray of Light, was about Madonna's transition into Kabbalah as Esther and her new Kabbalistic alter ego. Because that's what the Ray of Light is.
Another thing where I think there's like an inversion, and I haven't gone to Hebrew school since I was a little kid, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I could be totally wrong. But I think Esther, wasn't she like connected to like the evil queen in a sense? I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm kind of ignorant, right?
You know, I literally just did a whole thing about Esther. Gosh, I don't even remember what I was talking about, dude. And because I had to figure out who Esther was because it plays into a whole nother.
Purim.
You guys talk for a minute. I'll see if I can find it. I know I got.
Yeah, well, I just remember like Purim. There's like you dress up as like Halloween, and Esther. I thought it was like bad, and then like I don't know. You know, it's all kind of. But that I'm just going.
He's always the devil, Bobby Boucher.
But that Madonna video, that's when she was going the Rays of Light. That was a very popular video, and I'm sure if people don't know who you are, back in the day, right, the OG, when you want to learn about the Illuminati.
Levi Isaac Rosenbaum. Yeah, he got done by the FBI. Operation Bid Rig, it was called. Illegal organ trafficking. He would sell a liver for 160 grand. So it's not kosher for them, but it's okay to remove people's organs and sell them.
They were getting the information from you, so I'm sure you were already diving deep into this.
Rediscover trust with Rumble Cloud. No vendor lock-in, no hidden fees.
Rays of Light, which was like a huge freaking video at that time. It was just like promoted like crazy.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't think I've ever done an analysis of Madonna exactly, but I want to say the director of the Ray of Light video ties into some crazy stuff. You know how it is, man. You research all the stuff, and everything kind of gets jumbled up in your head.
I want to point out one other thing too about Hayden's role. I think her name was Claire in Heroes, and that was that she literally represented the perpetual maiden, where she was she basically was invincible. So if she fell from a big height, if you like cut her, if you shot her, if you basically try to kill her, she would be able to just regenerate, like better than Wolverine style, right? Like you couldn't kill her, I guess, unless Sylar eats her brains, and that was the whole like plot line of maybe Sylar's eating all their brains. But if you look back at what the perpetual maiden represents, it's literally an archetype, which is the perpetual maiden also means a perpetual virgin. So no matter how many times you sacrifice them, no matter how many times you violate a perpetual maiden, they always get rebirthed. You know, they're always like renewed for the next ritual or the next ceremony, no matter what you do with them, which is exactly also what Madonna represents. Madonna represents this perpetual maiden, perpetual virgin, right? It's always like for like the very first time for her.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't remember Heroes at all, dude.
She was the key element. She was the cheerleader, and everyone had this concept of save the cheerleader, save the world. So no one knew until the end of the first season that they're talking about this girl Claire. But the whole premise was that since she could technically be immortal, then if the bad guys got a hold of her, then they could become immortal. So you had to basically save her to make sure that the rest of the world didn't get access to her.
Wow. Yeah, I got to revisit that because I'm trying to build this part two, because there's actually a lot of connections I found in my part one video, like how it ties into Jeffrey's world. If you look at the files, there's one particular one where somebody calls out. Is that for real? The Google image search that comes up for him?
What a stinker.
Yeah, they're making him like looks Maxon kind of. They're like promoting him. Like
He's got the same PR guy as Hunter Biden, I think.
But this is the wild thing though. Is the date he was found hung August 10th. This is a huge occult date for the Helical Rising of Sirius. The date, and you were bringing up how important this August window of sacrifice is, where you get so many people. Robin Williams, Jeffrey, this lady who just passed, Hayden, and all this August 10th, Sharon Tate, right? Another big Hollywood sacrifice that's in the whole.
That's right, Blunt.
Cosmos right now. Why would August be so ritualistic?
Yeah, you got that Leo's gate, right, on August 8th, and that's like the date where the alignments are such that it's supposed to maximize the energy from Sirius, right, which ties into all of this stuff that these occultists are into, going back through Freemasons, and which is basically Kabbalah, and it's what Kenneth Grant described as the source of thelemic current, right? Referring to Aleister Crowley's religion, Thelema.
Alice.
And again, it has to do with energy play, which is why Jeffrey had books about Western Tantra and things like this. That's what these people are into, like magic and playing with energies and sacrifice donations of energies, right? That's why they got to go on certain windows, and that's one of them. And so the Jeffrey files, that's what I was going with that. I found a file of, if you look up Stella, I'm going to put Stella in quotes, Stella's husband's name in the files, you'll find he's in a file. If it's the same guy, I don't know, allegedly, hypothetically, theoretically, I'll put all those in there. His name is at the end, and literally the letter is someone saying, hey, this guy is at the child parties doing the RA, you know what, right? And it's kind of crazy. I'm like, it's crazy that like no one's talking about this. And I'd be like, bro, I think that Stella and her husband were affiliated. There you go. That's the one right there. That's the file right there. The bottom line there. I blurred out the R word there, but I think that this is the same ring of people, and I think that the story of Hayden being sort of forced upon this other celebrity, which other people are saying is a guy named James. I think that I would make a guess that they had the ship rigged up with cameras and it was like blackmail video footage on some level. I think that could be part of it. There's also another file in Jeffrey's list there that talks about things going down on a yacht where people were eating things that we shouldn't eat, and in that recent James video, like that's how the video ends, is with James eating some things he shouldn't eat.
So who is James? Like this guy? Well, I hope I don't know. Who is this guy? Why is he a famous person? Is he related to Emily Blunt?
No, he's not. He's not related to Emily, but he is famous, right? He did that song "You're Beautiful" back in the early 2000s.
Love that song.
Yeah, that's that guy. And
You're beautiful. No, I'm thinking of Christina Aguilera. I like Christina Aguilera.
It goes like that. You're doing good.
Yeah, and it's in every way. Words can't bring me down.
Yeah, that's Christina for sure. No, this is "You're Beautiful."
You're beautiful.
I don't know. That's all I know about it. Yeah.
Okay,
all right. Not my speed of music, but
my apologies.
But he, he's an interesting guy. I just ordered his autobiography online. I'm going to review that when it gets in here. But he married into British royal family bloodlines, which is awfully curious because there's also another famous British royal bloodline that's in the files. I mean, the rabbit holes that are unpacking on this whole thing is kind of like crazy, right? Especially because Hayden also married that famous boxer, Vladimir Klitschko, right? I don't know, dude. It's just like one crazy thing after another. And
That's so weird. And this was released on the date that she passed away.
It was like 2 days before.
That's still weird. And like they're showing the pool rituals, the drowning
a day
right?
after
And
the
they're saying that
eclipse,
she
wasn't
might
it?
have drowned on substances or stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
day after the
that's a good
eclipse,
point.
2
That
days
is
before
something
she
that,
passed.
Caesarean broke that down quite a bit. With the drowning.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, is that like an older video or?
Yeah,
is it-
yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll
Just
check
how
it out.
the drowning could be alcohol as well.
I knew this was going to end up maritime law related somehow.
Good call.
Well, it goes into the bridge ritual for sure.
Right, like if you drown, then it's a special sacrifice ceremony because now it belongs to like international admiralty laws.
Hmm. Yeah, it's probably connected. I believe. I do believe that it is connected to the financial stuff.
And one last thing, and I'm looking at the time because I got a jet here. The water thing is like from the symbolic, energetic point of view, like the water represents the feminine, right? So you got the divine feminine, and that's why they always talk about like the passage of the female goddess in the water. It's because the water represents the feminine energies and the subconscious, right? So in a way, there's this belief that you could sort of rewire your brain by plugging into the subconscious. And, theoretically, you could argue that maybe some of these sacrifice rituals are done in order for the practitioner or the magician or
Pray
whoever,
into the
right? This
Shekinah.
would obviously be like black magic, dark magic stuff to sort of dig in and make contact with these dark realms and cause changes on the subconscious level to manifest into the conscious world.
Well, Isaac, I'm so grateful that you're here. You can learn so much more if you click that link below and go become a member of Isaac's Wise Hops YouTube channel. The link is below. You'll learn so much more. We did get some super chats. I'll get to it. Just didn't know if anyone had a question there, but thank you for super chats. We'll get to that. Where can people look out for you? I'm very excited for your Twin Peaks book. That's going to be huge. Twin Peaks.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm editing the Twin Peaks book. If the world could slow down for like 2 weeks, I could get it freaking
Crazy adverts, man.
done. And then I got to I still got to work on the cover art, order the proof, but like the bulk of it is done. I just got to finish editing. But yeah, if you like my books, I'm on Amazon and Audible. If you like the podcast, it's Occult Symbolism and Pop Culture on all the podcast platforms. I'm currently on YouTube until they get rid of me the third time at Occult Symbolism. And I've got all kinds of places all over the place. I've got 2 podcasts. The other one's Breaking Social Norms, which is more of a conversational where I'm trying to like red pill my wife, but she's become the master and I've become the student in some level. So I'm all over the place. Go to allmylinks.com/IsaacW, ISAAC, 2 A's for double awesome, right? So allmylinks.com/IsaacW, and you can.
Yeah, it does a podcast on Apple, Aliens, Illuminati, Occult, and Hollywood.
Jump off to everywhere, Instagram, Substack, everything. So yeah, and thanks for having me on, guys. Dude, you guys are the best, man. I appreciate you guys.
Love you, man.
Appreciate you. That was awesome.
All right, I'm gonna head out. See you guys.
See you soon. Bye. That was amazing. That was a lot. He has so much more information, so you got to click that link below to learn more. I'm going to kind of go over some of the eclipse stuff. Paranoid. What's your thoughts now before I get into the eclipse stuff? Because
I highly recommend that, regardless of all of the conspiracy and whether you believe this is a sacrifice or not, the first season of Heroes is legitimately a great first season of a show. Unfortunately,
hit like and
at the
share,
end of
people.
that season,
Like and
all of
share.
the Hollywood writers went on strike, and it never came back, in my opinion. Like seasons 2, 3, all of them they weren't anything to do with the first Heroes season, but it's legitimately worth watching the entire first season of Heroes. I'm a little biased because it's based on like comic book logic, and they're all like comic book style superheroes, but I like it a lot.
But what are the coincidence, if you believe in a coincidence, that this show is based around the eclipse, at least symbolically in the covers, in the logo itself? What did the eclipse have to do with the show? Because she died in this eclipse energy, as we had the eclipse on August 12th, and we're having another eclipse. This is the eclipse month, August 27th.
Well, because the eclipse was supposed to be when she dies, essentially.
No way.
It's like foreboding indicator that everyone's having these visions of this eclipse, and that eclipse, no one really knows. That's why it's Save the Cheerleader, Save the World. No one really knows like who's going to end the world. What does the cheerleader have to do with it? What does this eclipse have to do? But the eclipse ends up representing this, this basic like milestone.
So right there, it is pretty nuts how we're in the eclipse window of energy. And this has been one of, what I've been talking about the eclipse rituals of what we've been seeing with Ariana Grande and all these types of rituals because of the eclipse sacrifices of the heart. Now, I heard in the show that she dies from like a cardiac arrest or something. So it's like another heart kind of thing. I don't know if you got that far in the show.
Well, that's what her brother died
of. They basically try and end her life multiple different ways just to see how far her limits essentially are. And I think what they leave you with, if you read between the lines, is like you got to either cut off her head or remove her brains. And if you do either of those, then maybe she won't come back to life. But no one actually tries that. I'll let you watch the rest of the season to see how it turns out. But like she cannot be killed. So yeah, her heart stops at one point, but that doesn't matter because she's basically invincible.
Well, before I get into the stuff that I've uncovered, I want to give a shout out to the super chats. We got some super chats, and it's time to feed that kitty cat. Thank you so much. David Gets Bored with the $10 super chat, says, hella let's go. Thank you so much, David Gets Bored. Always supporting the channel. And if you want to support the channel, the best thing you can do is hit that like button. Share the video out. I heard you could even hype it. Thank you so much, David. Hamburglar123 gave us the GOAT trophy with 1,000 jewels. So thank you so much. I love jewels. Thank you
and
so
I love
much.
GOAT trophies, so it works out for both of us.
Thank you so much for the 1,000 jewels and a GOAT trophy. Appreciate that, Hamburglar123. And Eblis840, thank you so much for the 6-7 jewels. Sent the 6-7 jewels. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Please smash that likey poo as well if you want to support this. So the eclipse stuff, I'm ready to get into this. Where's that kitty cat still on the track? Let me get rid of that kitty cat. Here we go. So let me get rid of the smash the like button. Okay, so this was the last video. I'm just going to go on a rant right now. Are you prepared?
I'm ready for it. Yeah, I mean, I
We're
was
ready
at this
for
birthday party.
So what birthday party?
That's what you're showing right now, right? That was that birthday party that we got invited to.
Right here, the eclipse sacrifice. Yeah, it was. Very fun. But that was crazy what Isaac said about Madonna. Madonna's in the ethos right now in bathrooms promoting Grindr, right? And this is what goes on in the whole freaking simulacrum, zeitgeist, micro-computational type cosmos, where it is showing us everything the same time. They're showing the same symbols. They're showing toilet stuff nonstop. They're just showing the same thing. During the Ariana Grande one, that's what I was pretty much connecting, that they're showing all this type of blood baptism happening. And what I was saying in this video, that this is a ritual for the eclipse, and that there will be a sacrifice for the eclipse, which is usually connected to somebody of power. So like a president or somebody very powerful, it's usually connected to. So this kind of threw me off that it was somebody I never heard of. But the whole eclipse stuff was nuts with this hero show. Even Decoding with Cody was covering this 3 weeks ago, how this eclipse is connected, which is pretty wild that he was on it. And so her birthday being Madonna's birthday, her death date being Madonna's date is pretty insane to me. And we're in this energetic window of the eclipse energy that happened in Spain. During Spain FIFA World Cup, they were showing the eclipse during the ritual. It was a huge thing. We did a video on it. You could go watch that. And it's also, you know, that was what, a week ago, not even. And now we're coming up on this next eclipse. So this energy of an eclipse lasts for like 6 months or something. So until February. And on the back of her neck, the lady that passed away, Hayden, rest in peace, she has a tattoo, an Egyptian tattoo of Ra, the Eye of Ra, an interesting tattoo to get, but going into a solar type ritual. Isaac was bringing up Stella, which makes me think of just stellar, right? And her book was called The Reckoning, a reckoning. This is me, a reckoning. And a reckoning is also connected to astrology and navigation in a lot of ways. So these things happening on certain astrological alignments is what I really dive into and look at. But the Eye of Ra, let's kind of go into that and how it's connected to what I've been calling the helical rising of Sirius rituals, where is it? It's somewhere here. It talks about it. Maybe I got to pull that up real quick. Sirius. Okay. The tears of the Eye of Ra are part of a more general connection between the eye and moisture. In addition to representing the morning star, the eye can also be equated with the star Sothis or Sirius. Every summer, at the start of the Egyptian year.
Introducing Rumble Shorts. Watch quick videos for pure, unfiltered, bingeable content. Open the Rumble app.
Sothis helical rising, right? The helical rising is Sirius, in which the star rose above the horizon just before the sun itself, heralded the start of the Nile inundation, which probably means flooding. Yeah, the flooding of the Nile, which watered and fertilized Egypt's farmland. Therefore, the Eye of Ra precedes and represents the floodwaters that restore fertility to all Egypt. Now, this is what I've been connecting to the helical rising of Sirius rituals, whether that be this lady who just passed away, Princess Diana passed away in August, which is kind of interesting, not around the helical rising of Sirius. Marilyn Monroe, August, so the August is a big ritualistic date, usually connected to hanging, because you got Robin Williams, Jeffrey, and even this guy, this influencer that's promoted, don't know who he is, but a lot of channels I follow have been talking about him. Joe Fells, they're saying that he hung himself, and when that news was breaking that he hung himself was during the helical rising of Sirius, right? So I'm sure he's connected into this sacrifice ritual as well. I don't know much about it, but I've seen a lot there to it. So her having that tattoo seems to also be connected into the ritual. Now this
on the cover of her book too, because
Yes.
I didn't know about the tattoo, but it also says Isis, right? Isis me on the bottom.
Oh wow!
So there's another Egyptian connection there. If you're looking hard enough.
That's nuts, bro. That's why we got Paranoid American here. I didn't even see that. Hidden in plain sight. You got the Isis right there. Wow. So when I was bringing this book up, it's just called A Reckoning. And this is a common term in astrology, astronomical systems, with the ancient Chinese systems and also the navigational systems, because the eclipse, this is how the Knights Templars were able to navigate through the ley lines via the eclipse. When Charlie Kirk memorial happened on the 33rd ley line on an eclipse, I was breaking down a book I read on the dragon lines and the eclipse and how important it was. So in the old ancient Templar buildings, there would be a window, right, that the eclipse would hit. And through the different statues that were built, showed an occult, you have to decode it. It was a map of the eclipse and the ley line. So they were able to navigate the sea. So, I mean, there's just a lot going on there with the importance of this eclipse. And she's the freaking star of the show called Heroes, which ended another date, February 8th, when the Super Bowl this year went down. So I believe that the Super Bowl rituals to celebrity sacrifices to whatever it is, music videos or tours, are connected all in the same zeitgeist, the exact same way a Super Bowl legends into the ritual, because an advertisement, according to Marshall McLuhan, isn't long enough. A ceremony needs an introduction, and it needs, it needs the great release of the halftime show. It needs all that energy, or maybe loosh, you could call it, to make the ritual, work. So I think that we're going through yearly long type rituals in a sense. But here,
same as the football, wasn't it? The football had the halftime shows. The football had the show, the opening ceremony, then the last match ceremony. The final ceremony. They had the rituals. They had the rituals during the water breaks. 9/11 was on the helical rising. I'm surprised they hadn't said about 9/11 being on the helical rising yet. I don't know whether he gets to it. I haven't watched all of this. Yeah, it's all part of the Gregorian calendar. The dog star. It's all deep. When you look at it and you study it and you try and look at everything that's going on and psyops and what have you. Why are all the deaths in August? Strange, isn't it? But you got to go down those rabbit holes.
Heroes was released and ended on February 8th. So I think that's an interesting day. It's Eliphas Levi's birthday, February 8th, who made the Baphomet symbol so popular.
And all these rituals too, this is all agricultural. So like blood sacrifices, that was supposed to be agricultural, so that you were showing the gods that you're willing to sacrifice the things that you've created and provided, so that God can keep creating and providing things like for the next year. And the Super Bowl was the same thing. Like the origins of the Super Bowl was essentially the Colosseum, or just battles that regions would have. Like there's still some.
Well, all your Colosseums, all your football stadiums. Yeah, Dog Star. Yeah, Dog Star at Blunt. The football stadiums, they're all the old ancient Colosseums, aren't they? Which were all ritualistic.
Places on the planet today that there's just an annual battle. They're not even necessarily fighting over politics or religion or anything specific, just that, like, for as long back as their history goes, they've always showed up on a certain date and fought their neighbors, like, to the death. And whenever someone wins one of those battles, they get to take control over the battlefield, and they usually plant their crops on that battlefield. And the battlefield's actually incredibly fertile because of all the iron and all of the bloodshed that has, like, filled it. So, like, it is directly connected to this agriculture ritual. And even if you bring up the Super Bowl, what kind of advertisements do you usually see? It's like beer and food and sex, right? It's all agricultural sort of like symbols, just a 2,000-year-old or maybe like 10,000-year-old into the future versus what the original versions were based on that you get out of like the Bible and ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics.
So this fertility ritual is straight connected to the toilet ritual, because the toilet stuff, that's the manure. It's the soil. So the agriculture and the fertilizer and all of that is also connected, in my opinion, as well to this. So the eclipse that's coming up for the 27th, that this girl passed away in the middle of the two eclipses. The story still being, reported and released. And I didn't know who she was. So I'm really, didn't know how big of a celebrity she was. But even the symbolism of the show, this looks like the moon phases as well. When you look at like a moon calendar of the new moon to the full moon, it looks like that. So we got these big eclipses coming up. The 23 Skidoo was interesting. This is Call Me Kinfolk. Shout out to Call Me Kinfolk. He was even connecting that the Urantia book goes into how Jesus was born on August 21st. That's when this lady was born, which I thought was interesting. And here's the cardiac arrest thing. So shout out to Call Me Kinfolk. Hayden played a character, Claire Bennett, died off screen during the backstory of the event series Heroes Reborn. She passed away in 2014 from cardiac arrest while giving birth to her superhuman twins, Melina and Tommy, because her powers were overwhelmed by the baby's own abilities inside the womb, which is interesting too, because the twin telepathy is something I've been studying. There's something in the zeitgeist right now.
I think so, GC.
Paranoid.
It should be over now.
Really much into. I'm writing an article about it actually called Somewhere in the Middle, going over possession and possession. This will be released for Patreon and YouTube members, hopefully by this Friday. It's a lot of work, just more stuff happening. It goes into memories, telepathy, obsession, reincarnation, and how it all kind of is intertwined in a sense with these celebrities like Ariana Grande. She's showing her the erasing of her memories, going straight into the MK Ultra stuff.
They went to Afghanistan for portholes. Yeah, they went to Afghanistan for portholes. And then they met the giant of Kandahar, didn't they? Kandahar giant, All crazy shit.
We did a podcast with Jamie Hanshaw, and she's super. She's like, she wrote books on this stuff, so she knows this stuff really well. So that you gotta go subscribe to her. I got those links down below. But the twin telepathy, I'm sure there's a connection to that, because we're getting all these near-death experiences and out-of-body experiences sort of in the whole zeitgeist right now, with the new Dan Brown book, The Secret of Secrets, about the golem.
Free speech meets financial freedom with Rumble Wallet, a non-custodial crypto wallet where you're in.
It goes into out-of-body, goes into precognition.
God, I gotta go ad free again. Oh, I can't stand adverts.
And so yeah, and even Gurdjieff said that the freaking moon is food. food. We're food
That's
for the
fun.
moon, which is pretty funny. But here's another Call Me Kinfolk showed that the movie Scream that she's in with the Ghostface Killer was released on March 10th. And to her death date, that's 3 years and 22 weeks, the 322 right there. Here is a...
See, they all say it's conspiracy theories and numbers and blah, blah, blah. It's all conspiracy theories. But you add her age up. Add all the numbers up between her age. It adds up to 666. How can it be a conspiracy? How can it be a conspiracy? You know? VPN Albania works. I'll have to try that one, GC.
Video of her.
I just normally pay to go ad free.
Her going over the abuse that she went in with the yacht stuff that Isaac was talking about. Here is the tweets that we've been looking at for sacrifice for the eclipse on August 6th. We were talking about that. Here's Decoding with Cody. His YouTube channel 3 weeks ago was showing heroes eclipse all points of this. Now, how crazy is that? That precognition, or just looking into the symbolism that he was able to see these connections. That's pretty insane. And so, feel free to jump in anytime, but it's very hard for me to pronounce Gematria. I can't pronounce. Gematria. I'm so I'm dumb when it comes to words and stuff. But he was breaking down, and I followed him for a while, that the hero star Hayden and the eclipse pathways are connected. But this is the picture he was showing of her brother who also passed away. And this is the last picture that was shown, and he's wearing the Doors t-shirt. And so the Doors goes into the Doors of Perception with Aldous Huxley, and this is very much tied into the out-of-body experiences, which I'll be showing this Friday in that somewhere in the middle thing, going into the gateway process. You read about Monroe's gateway process with the click outs?
Yeah, I actually had an episode I recorded with the Outside Minds podcast last night. It'll be out eventually on my channel, but we talked about the entire Gates program and like the Monroe Institute, and like a lot of that is directly connected. It just depends on what decade you're referring to the specific research.
So I started off this essay I'm working on. As you can see, we have Smile, which is about a dual occupancy, maybe host, or Obsession is a real dual occupancy of one body carrying multiple souls, where we get this multiple personality disorder, which was rebranded to dissociative identity disorder. But this goes into a lot of out-of-body experiences, which we've been breaking here on the channel on the inflammation. Right? How inflammation may trigger persistent out-of-body experiences. In the gateway process, the Monroe Institute, where they have these click outs, is kind of opening that gate of an out-of-body type of experience. And these concerts like Ariana Grande, she's showing the deletion in progress of her memory wipe. And, there's new articles coming out on how, if you watch reels and not long form content like this, you are actually wiping your memory in a sense. There's a connection there as well. But when we're looking at Ariana Grande and her near-death experience, in a sense, because she's getting her memory wiped, she's having an out-of-body experience. So there's two different people. The same encounters that happen with these out-of-body experiences when somebody dies on the table, and they're hovering above them and whatnot, and then they see the white light and they go into that. Now, she was showing all of that at her concert there. So this is good. It's very interesting stuff. You're gonna really like.
I had one of them when I hit the bottom of the mine shaft. I could see myself. And if you imagine, or if you don't imagine, but if you ever remember being in the swimming pool and doing forward rolls in the water. And then when you stop doing the forward rolls, you float backwards. That was the feeling I got. And then I remember screaming and scrambling back to myself. And that was my out-of-body experience at the bottom of the mine shaft over falling 100 foot. And I was shouting up to the people. I remember screaming all the way I was falling. But they said not a word came and not a sound came out of my mouth, they said. I was fully conscious all the way when I fell down the shaft. I lost consciousness when I had the out-of-body experience. That's when I lost consciousness. And I scrambled back to myself. But yeah, that was mad as poo. But I didn't come back to Starseed. And then they overdosed me on the operating theatre and they had to resuscitate me on the operating theatre. So I still never came back to bloody Starseed. How bad's that? Twice I passed away and twice I never came back to Starseed. Madness, dog. But I've had the dreams where you fall in and then all of a sudden you wake yourself up. It means something. I think my book of dreams is at my ex-missus's. I used to have a book of dreams so you could look up your dreams because they all got opposite meanings to what they actually mean, your dreams. So you used to have a book of dreams and go, what did you dream of that? Oh, I'll look it up. But that was like when I was on loads of medication as well. I don't take any medication at all now. You would not talk.
But back to this chick, the Doors of Perception and all that. You saw I was connected. Did you know that ZZ Top drummer passed away as well?
No, is this breaking? Does this just happen?
Yeah, like so it might be a threes thing. You know, deaths come in threes kind of thing.
Well, I'm sure more than 3 people died today.
No.
He ain't going to say his age. He ain't going to say his age. He don't like saying the number 7.
There's no way.
No way.
Out of billions of people, there's no way that happens. But we saw the 3 deaths when Hulk Hogan passed away with the 201 rituals. So I don't know. So here is the Stella stuff. He was going over the Stella name, which kind of reminds me of Stellar. Here is the Sinclair, Trudeau, and Katy Perry, another female of the Illuminati celebrities.
Another spirit cooker.
I didn't know that, but that doesn't surprise me as she's like going to the moon and then bowing down and kissing the floor in like a religious pose. But she was dancing. This is all over the news with the toilets. She's been dancing.
She was 11 months old. 11 months old she was next day.
With toilet plungers. So this is also viral, which is just more stuff. U.S. military is talking about the toilets not working. More just toilet stuff in the ethos. I mean, come on. The toilet stuff is strange. Also, another prediction I had next to the sacrifice for the eclipse, the big one was North Korea coming back into the movie script for 2026. And it seems like the stage is being set. There has been some tweets by our president talking about North Korea, sort of setting the stage, in my opinion, which I believe is connected to the freaking bridge collapse rituals. which I don't think the bridge might even collapse, but there could be a threat, like a torpedo from North Korea going towards it, which would go into the maritime law kind of stuff to set up some new kind of flock cameras under the sea, get some dolphins to put on flock cameras onto the
Eyes Wide Shut and many other films. I mean, I showed the film clip earlier on from what's it called? Oh, fucking hell! Somebody remind me the name of the film, Blunt. But it goes right back. It goes right back to Baal worship next day. You know, it goes right back to Baal. It goes back to why they were cast out of Israel, why they were cast out of the Promised Land. They broke the covenant with God. They sacrificed their firstborn. The bloodletting rituals. Yeah, that goes right back. It even goes back to Knights Templar. Yeah, Clockwork Orange, yeah. It's all there in plain sight. Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. I've played the missing clips. I've played them on here. John Travolta. Yeah, but they've got. You're not getting it. They sacrifice their children. They sacrifice their children. It's a ritual, allegedly.
The dolphins to study the sea, maybe?
Or the shrimp, as we learned last time.
Bro, okay, let me pull up something. I forgot to pull this up. I got an Illuminati animal for your ass. You're gonna love this one. This is like the greatest Illuminati animal that's ever existed. It's so freaking funny.
I've got a whole category while you're looking for that. I found one called PALS, PALS, and it's something that the Navy has been doing. And what I mentioned on the last episode with the Illuminati shrimp is that the pistol shrimp to make the clicking noise, that clicking noise is almost like an organic sonar. So the Navy taps into the clicking and they can basically create a.
Well, God didn't allow it. That's why he banished them. That's why they were cast out for 40 years, wasn't it? He promised them a promised land. He promised them a land. They weren't supposed to be idolaters. They weren't supposed to sacrifice. You know, but they're still carrying out sacrifices now. You know, Donald Trump was with them when they sacrificed at the Sanhedrin to bring the Sanhedrin back. And they sacrificed the lamb on the Mount of Hermon, I think it was. The one world government, the one world power. And everybody bowed down to the Noahide laws. The video clips I was showing the other day, it tells you in that the Sanhedrin, the one world government. Now I spoke about it for God knows how long. The striking of the coin, Sirius on one side and Trump on the other side. They're going into the Temple Mount. They're going into the Temple Mount with the IDF and sacrificing lambs. We've seen it for 2 years, trying to smuggle lambs into the Temple Mount to sacrifice them in the Temple Mount.
.3D image of everything that's happening underwater based on all these clicks, and that's just one of a whole array of different sea animals that the Navy's basically using to surveil all of the water, and that's part of this PALS system. So like these are Navy's PALs.
I wonder if they're doing the click out experiment with the gateway process. But check out this freaking dolphin. This is the next Illuminati dolphin right here. Look at this thing right here.
Is it a baby?
No, this is called an Irrawaddy dolphin. An Irrawaddy dolphin. Urgent, but look at these dolphins, bro.
There's one drinking out of a baby bottle. You're telling me that's not a baby?
That one is a baby, a Irrawaddy dolphin, but they're not baby. This is what they look like. They're Irrawaddy dolphin, rare dolphin.
I gotta be honest, that looks like an alien bursting out of somebody's chest.
It does look like the alien coming out of the chest.
You just give it some sharp teeth, and that's basically H.R. Geiger.
So right there, but look at it. Look at that face. Look at that smile.
I wouldn't trust it.
You want to trust this? Look at this. Look at that. Look at
but it abides by maritime law. It doesn't honor like the Constitution, and it's probably part of some weird like aquatic maritime law ritual.
So you're saying that that's not a smile but a smirk?
I'm saying that certain animals develop a look. I personally believe over time animals evolve to not be killed by humans, and one of the things they can do is evolve to look kind of cute. So if you just look kind of cute, the
I think she has Nostog. I've shown them on here, you know, all tied in with Rothschild. So she would have seen it in the Rothschild stuff, the swimming pool, the hanging children, the spirit cooking. They call it spirit cooking. The cake made as a human body. Allegedly a cake. And then the people lying in the bathtub with the whatever the goo is that they're lying in, and they're dipping their food in it and eating it.
the chance that a human will just kill you willy-nilly.
Oh, bloody advert.
Rumble Cloud, your freedom, our promise. Break free from big tech.
Drops dramatically when compared to, like, say, a shark with, you know, a nasty looking fins and like sharp teeth. Like, you wouldn't preemptively kill every animal, so part of it is evolving to avoid being killed by people.
Well, that makes so much sense. You're so smart. You're so smart. Look at that is exactly what's going on. It's like a cute little puppy, but then you go to it and then it eats them. So shout out to Yisrael Chai over on Twitter. He was saying that according to Jewish tradition, the Talmud describes a solar eclipse as a bad omen for the entire world. Unlike a lunar eclipse, which the sages associate specifically with troubles for the Jewish nation, who calculate months by the moon. A solar eclipse is viewed as a warning sign for the nations that reckon time by the solar calendar. Thought that was interesting, just to add on to the information. But we've just seen a lot of these rituals go down. I mean, I think this has been a pretty good episode. I'm also looking out for maybe some blackouts to happen because the eclipse is straight connected to the blackout. Here is an image that I made years ago with Leave the World Behind. Even with Candy Owens, who is super famous and did this big debate. Her book's called Blackout. Here's Donald Trump being the eclipse in 2024. The movie about the blackout is called 1 Second After and is showing the eclipse. So the eclipse and blackouts are very much connected when it comes to these books and movies as well, like Leave the World Behind. And we saw those drowning rituals happen there. But in that,
and I think the first Method Man Redman album was called The Blackout.
Yeah, you know, I got to add that information into it as well. That is interesting. But so this is in the news, the blackouts, but we can't read it. We have to pay to unlock the secrets. But this was the headline: what if America went completely dark? The blackout that could devastate nation. And it's just something interesting to point out. Here's just some more of the eclipse, full moon rituals that go down, some imagery to show everybody. But yeah, I mean, this has been a wild podcast. What's your closing thoughts on this wild podcast?
Closing thoughts. I think that it's important to remember that, like, the celebrity rituals and celebrity deaths, it's not the celeb, in my opinion, it's not the celebrity, like the human being that exists in like reality with the rest of us. That's not the part that even matters. Like we had on a previous episode, celebrity used to be a horror.
As well as Lammy, Michelle Lammy. You also got Sandy Brown. Now Sandy Brown, she's the one that made the 38-foot tall totem pole in St. Austell, just down the road from me. Right, it's called the Earth Goddess, and it's got loads of symbolism on it. It's like a giant totem pole. Right, well, Sandy Brown is tied in with Abramovich and Michelle Lammy. Everybody's petitioned against it to get rid of it. Everybody's rejected the bloody thing. And I did a thing about her, God, 3 years ago it must be. She's another weirdo. She's another Satanist. I think they're just ending up this
thing.
life.
It was one of the worst things you could ever do to yourself, because being a celebrity essentially meant that you had fame without honor, which meant you were infamous. You know, you didn't, like, there wasn't a good reason that you were famous. And that's kind of what describes celebrities. But especially actors, are literally projections, right? You go and you watch the way the movies used to work. They would be projected up on a screen, and you sit back and you vicariously live through the characters that they represent. So that's the part that's so magic and so important. So if people are like, oh, who cares? It's just celebrity lives. Well, because even if you don't watch movies or TV, a grand majority of all the people that you share oxygen with, and when you go to the grocery store, you're surrounded by them, right? PTA meetings, you're surrounded by people that are vicariously living through these projections. So when a celebrity dies, it has a very real impact on people, whether they know it or not, that were like entranced with the characters that celebrity represented throughout all of our different media. So even if you're like, who cares, you know, another millionaire dies every day or whatever, it's because now there's like a vacuum that forms in people's brains where that person that used to represent, and especially when that particular person and their characters represent these like perpetual maidens or these like actual sacrificial victims within the media that they were like hired to go out and portray. Ariana Grande, another great example, right? So it's not the celebrities themselves, but it's everything that they represent, because it takes up space in your brain. Like there's neurons that, you know about Ariana Grande instead of whatever you probably should know.
Yeah, and we see that with John Lennon, you know, when he was assassinated, people were crying and all of this, or when it comes to these celebrities and stuff. So
because he represented something bigger than the person. He represented this new way of life and changing the norm. So when they die, the great example, like when MLK gets assassinated, it sends a message. People, of course, they're sad that the guy died, but it also represents like, oh, this means something. The same thing with JFK assassination. Basically any assassination, but assassinations only have like a more traumatic aspect to it because it's unexpected, just like unexpected deaths, people that die like way before their years. So all of that results in actual trauma. And since we're all programmed by trauma, when things like this happen, it opens the door. And I guarantee you there's marketing agencies out there that it's like, now's the time to push that thing, right? Because everyone's like heart is a little bit open, or everyone's got like a little vacuum that needs to be filled right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even with the AI the AI can data collect all this stuff and kind of knows the feelings that people are going through, I think, as well, with how strong they're tapping their reels, how hard they're swiping on their reels. They're like they're angry. Let's sell them something or whatever. So I think it's going just much deeper. And in this essay I'm writing, somewhere in the middle, it kind of goes into the hypothesis is that if the AI knows that people are inflamed, 70% of the population having an out-of-body experience, could the programmers or the AI itself use the human vessel as a precognitive predictor for the stock market? So, Paranoid American, I'm so grateful to be here with you on this Totalitarian Tiptoe Tuesday at 2, the Totalitarian Takeover Tiptoe of Heroes.
I can't do better than that. That was phenomenal.
Well, thank you for tuning in. Smash that likey poo. Much love, and God
bless
you.
God bless you. What did you make of that? Oh, why does that come up? That's one of my photos, that is. How's that come up? I took that photograph. Where am I? Where am I? Why have I got that as me? Why is that me? Can you still hear me? Why does that come up as me? Eh? What's going on here then? Yeah, I can hear you. Why does that come up like that? Why does my photograph come up? What's it done like that for? I can't even see it up here. I haven't even got it as an overlay, so why is it there? Why be it there? How did that happen? How have I changed to a bloody waterfall that I took a photograph of? Something's fucking with my brain. What's going on here? Hmm? Where's my avatar then? Video settings. Mirror camera, replace. Eye camera, remove, replace. Replace. No, I don't want to share a different image. Don't want to screen share. Why am I there as that? What's going on here, like Bobby? Why has it come up as a photograph of one of my photographs? Why does it come up as one of my photographs? I don't understand this. Max, where are you? Why happens if we do this then? God, there's got to be a reason why. What's it doing like? I don't add channels. Why has it changed me to a picture? It's not even in my profile picture, so why is it there? It's not a background. It's not a widget. Oh, what's going on? Like, smile, I just put on TLC waterfalls and get it over with. What? But Patrick, that's one of my photographs, right? I haven't uploaded it to fucking Restream. It's not in my graphics. It's not my logo. It's not in overlays. It's not in video clips. It's not there at all, but it's put me as that. Why has it put me as that? All scenes. Welcome. I don't even know where the bloody picture come from. That's like the picture's on my hard drive. Yeah, it's definitely Gremlins, GC. I ain't got a clue where it come from. That picture's on the hard drive. And I've just refreshed. But it's not even one of my avatars, so I don't get why it's there. It's definitely Gremlins, isn't there? There's the chat. Well, it's not in the music. It's not help. Shallow how, more like shallow down. Yeah. Add scene? No, don't want to add a scene. Don't want to add a screen. Well, it definitely is GC. I don't get it. I haven't even added that picture as a background. For Restream. I haven't added it. It should be my avatar that's in the top right hand corner. What is going on here? Da-da-da-da. I don't get what's going on. Why does that screen over there say black? I can see that, but I can't see myself. Right, so now it's only got me as a video. No, now it's only got me as a microphone. Where am I? Belly thing's cut me off, hasn't it? Right, so move that from side to side. Where am I gone, people? Somebody stole me. He's not a picture of Mr. Grumpy. That's fucking amazing, that is. Right, why am I completely blank? Mahusef. Yeah, my Gideon. I haven't got a clue what's going on. What the stream's current bit rate is lower than recommended bit rate. We recommend that you use a stream bit rate. What's going on? What's going on? It's all going Pete Tong. I'm getting warnings now. Right, people, I'm knocking on the head. I don't know whether I'm still here or not. I ain't got a clue. I can see myself up there talking, but I don't know whether I'm getting out. I've got no chat left. I think the YouTube gods have got me. Can anybody hear me?